Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm so amazed that we have him as a regular
I know, it's
community member
awesome.
now. It's
It is so awesome. All right.
I'm so.
Hey, Patrick. Wow, you're first. That's different, man.
Yeah. So good to see you here. Yeah.
Not only all the giveaways for the guests, but 2 $25 gift certificates for Troll Alert tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. All right. That's twice just to get started here. How you doing, Patrick? Whew.
Your repurposed freighter drifts through space. As you stare out at the star-flecked void, another ship comes in. Wait, is this sci-fi? I thought we agreed on a World War II campaign. Oh. Did we?
You okay with that topic on Wednesday? We've never gone over that.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh yeah. The adventure begins.
Book,
yes.
Hold up. I thought we were prepping for
that's
the
a good
zombie
one.
apocalypse.
It's one of the best Greyhawk books ever made, in my opinion.
All right, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700.
It was
Humanity's
pre-third
elite fled to
edition,
other
right? It
planets
was
long
right
ago,
before.
taking with them all
Yeah,
forms
it
of
was.
advanced
It was one of these things that I think Wizard of the Coast published when they have bought TSR. It was probably in the making, and then they got it out of the quickly, so to speak. Yeah, it was part of that 90s, late 90s. After they taken over in 97, they published it out.
Describe your characters.
High production values. They got TSR up and running again. That's from memory, top of my head. So yeah.
Well, there's one thing I discussed it on Wednesday. There's one thing that we specifically use out of that. The thug subclass for thieves is in there. I'm almost positive.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, in that book, and that's where we.
Yeah, it was one of these they were working hard on 3rd edition, and they had stuff laying around, so they, and I guess they also knew that Greyhawk was going to be the default setting in 3rd edition, so they got a lot of laying around stuff for Greyhawk. I think that Roger E. Moore, he worked for Wizard of the Coast from remotely working on a lot of this stuff that they got released prior to 3rd edition and before they really got up and running, so to speak. Hello, Draga here.
Right.
A story once is ageless.
Keep my phone and Discord up on my phone in case there's any
without end. The curious
issues
are the ones
looked up.
most courageous. The tree that endures has to bend. From stillness, the mad mage is stirring.
Thanks, Patrick.
From countless voices, the castle takes shape. Zagig will test the enduring. Those unlucky will never escape.
Check it out. Okay, streaming's going right. That's fine. Good. Good. Awesome. Had to think for a second. Looking here for something. Can't find it. Right. Awaiting.
They're late.
Waiting the guests. They're late. All of our guests are late. Woohoo! That's a minute. Sorry, we haven't officially started yet, so.
No, it's good. Yeah.
Here comes Brittany's first. Hello.
Hi, hello. I am here. I am just finishing up my makeup really quick.
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
You are good.
Becca, hi, sweet.
Hello.
Oh, no sound.
No sound yet. Okay. It's all the techie stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, just making sure it's set with your sound and the Zoom sound and together.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
No sound still. You can hear us, obviously, which is good. So.
That's halfway there. Yep.
Not yet. So I would just make sure, go in the lower right-hand corner of your windows and make sure that your whatever it's set to your microphone, and then go to audio lower left.
Nope,
Yeah.
we got you.
Oh,
We got
good.
you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you for walking me
Good.
through that.
Yeah.
Right.
Hello.
Glad to be here. Hi, Anna. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too.
Yes. So we got Tony and Punk Rock Jenny will get on as soon as possible.
Perfect.
She's maybe on a little late, but she'll get on.
Should do this so that way I can. Yeah, here we
Just
go.
open
So,
our prelude stuff.
sure.
Totally.
So that's my I have my big shelf on that side, unfortunately. Otherwise, all RPG streamers, whatever, you should have like a big shelf with everything. But it's so full of other crap. So yeah, I have it.
I'm still dreaming of an office someday. My husband and I share one room.
Oh, this is the second bedroom. So
Oh, yeah.
it's our guest room, office, and so on. So
Catch all of the above.
Yeah, exactly. And dog sleeping place and general dumping place for all sorts of stuff. So yeah, we're in a condo. It's only 2 bedrooms, so it's not that big.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's
So you
Southern
get it.
California, so it's just like a porta potty costs a fortune.
It's very true.
Yep.
It's very true. I'm not too far away. I'm in Tucson.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So we're in the same quadrant of the
Mhm.
country then. I'm in Southern California between LA and San Diego. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of my family is from San Diego, so we go out and visit my
cool.
aunt and
Nice.
Yep.
stay there
Mhm.
sometimes.
awesome. I'm
Yeah.
on the 50 miles north on along
Okay.
the
Yeah.
15
Yeah. Yeah.
on the eastern side of the Santa Ana Mountains.
Nice.
That's where, yep. Cool. All right. Here we
Hey,
go.
Brett.
Hello.
Hello. Awesome. I've just put on a t-shirt. That's all I've done. So now I feel bad here. But on the other hand, this is
Your
what
style,
I usually
Exactly.
it's my style. So
It's your
my
style,
convention
exactly.
outfit. So I wear some random role-playing game t-shirt and just show up, so to speak. So,
When I've treated my work and my work identity as like a version of myself, a character, and so I dress up like an NPC, and I always wear pink when I'm like on the clock, so that I can like separate it.
yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yep, that's great. So Brittany, where are you?
I'm in Michigan. I'm in the Detroit
Okay.
area.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Yeah.
couple minutes early, which is good. And I know that Jenny was going to get on as soon as she could, but she'd be a little late. I'm trying to pick Tony and move her along, you know.
Yeah. We have to get her in here. So, yeah.
I just sent a message to her fiance too. I'm like,
get her on.
Yeah, they're both in the
Jenny
community.
sent me a DM and she said, "Hold it down till I can get there and mess everything up."
Oh,
I said, "We will be
she
brave."
tries to all the time. So I made a deal with her. So I had her on. We had her on about a year and a half ago with Mike Shea, you know, the Lazy DM, right?
Yeah.
So
Flourish.
Flourish, and Ed Greenwood on at the same time, and it was awesome. She's like, "You gotta let me take over your stream, your talk show one time." I'm like, "You can come on anytime you want to do that." So hopefully it doesn't happen tonight with everyone else on. But yeah, she's very outgoing, which is great. She's cool, super cool. Super cool.
I have a lot of beef with most of the D&D books I've read so far, but
That's
Mike
good.
Shea, his is not one of them.
Right,
His has been so helpful.
Yeah, Mike's a great guy. Mike's
So
a real
cool.
fun person, easy to talk to.
Yeah.
He has a show on every Sunday morning on Twitch, so you can
I didn't
ask
know
him
that.
questions. Yeah, it's like on,
Oh yeah, it's on
10
YouTube
Eastern.
as well. So
There you
yeah.
go.
Afterwards. Yep. The Lazy DM on YouTube or
Perfect.
Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he streams them on Twitch and
Oh!
then on YouTube afterwards. Hello,
Hi.
Tony.
All right.
I think we can hear you.
But
Yes, okay, but we can hear you, so that's
Yes.
good. Yep.
And she can't hear us saying that we can hear her, but
Yep.
we know that we can hear her.
Yep.
Maybe hearing her was really the friends we made anyway.
Tony, you good?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay. Good.
My hard drive had died a couple days ago, so I got a new one, and apparently I haven't installed Zoom.
That's
gotcha.
okay.
Mhm.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm-
So
I'm-
and then it was trying to use the microphone as the speaker instead of the actual speakers. So
very, very cool. All right. So, good evening. Welcome. This is our 18th DM's Roundtable discussion on the channel, Anna. You believe that?
Yep.
Oh,
I've
I
been
love
here
it.
for 17 out of the 18, I
Yes,
think. Yep.
absolutely. You only
I
missed the
wasn't on the first one. Yep.
very first one. And we had all sorts of technical. That was when I had no idea what I was doing streaming wise back in the day.
Well, you still have glitches, but they're
Yeah,
awesome
thanks.
nowadays. They were much more. They're much more fun now. Yep.
Yes, they are. Absolutely. And we can make fun of myself with a whole bunch of emotes. So I'm JK Lorca Zumba with my great partner in crime and co-host Anna B. Meyer. And we're going to have 4 fantastic guests for a great generation of women's DMs discussion tonight for a DMs Roundtable. Some you may know, some you may not. And let's introduce everyone. Punk Rock Jenny will be on shortly, and then we'll throw her into the mix. But we got some surprises tonight, which will be fun. So we'll start with the veteran here to get things moving. Tony, welcome.
Yeah.
hey, how's everybody doing?
Good.
Well, how are you?
Good.
I'm good. I am Tony Winslow Brill. I am a freelance tabletop role-playing writer, editor, project manager, wear lots of hats, DM, all the good fun stuff. So I get to do all the different kinds of things. I also play in Jay's stream for 2 Drink Minimum.
Yes, with Ed Greenwood. Absolutely. Nick Solia, and she's miserable.
He's just grumpy.
She's a fun character. Also, let's now it's showing beneath me, but come on, you're being modest here.
Yep.
Get this book, Handle Keep Mysteries, and go to the very last adventure. And Tony wrote it. Xanthoria. I've run it. It's awesome. Converted it back into Greyhawk. So she's done a lot of writing for WotC, a lot of companies, and there's a lot of other things going on. So
Yes,
with
I
Tony.
am keeping busy.
Yeah, which is fantastic. I really appreciate you coming on. We had a little conflict with Dee, but and Tony was available, and you did the page discussion on Friday night too. So you're on a roll. So
I did. They
Very-
are pretty awesome, and that was pretty fun too. So
excellent. Well, I'm so happy to have you on. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it. Britt, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name's Britt. I
run Dungeon Dropouts with my partner and a friend. We are a Black-owned AP company, and we are brand new, like 2 months in. So we do all homebrew right now. 5e. We're looking at other tabletop games right now, and we do completely homebrew our own mechanics and everything. So we kind of design some games as well, and we stream every weekend, generally Saturday and Sunday.
Very cool.
Cool.
Very, very cool. Welcome on. And like I said, this is going to be an open discussion. We'll have a lot of fun topic points and maybe some serious too, right? Get into the weeds on some things. And I really look forward to hearing your perspective on how it's been so far. 2 months in,
Cool.
that's exciting. I remember how it was with me 2 months in on Twitch. Oh my God, what a nightmare.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Everything that can go wrong. Has anyone kicked the cord out yet?
It does.
Yeah. Everything's happened. So.
Yeah.
It can happen. So it's all of us. So it could happen here. We may have a thunderstorm coming through here, and I may lose power. You never know. But
that's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And
of course.
Becca, women play D&D. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you said it right. That's
awesome.
me.
Very cool.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Becca Bix. My pronouns are she, her. And I started playing D&D just back in November. The Eras tour was ending, and I needed a new parasocial community online to join. And I was watching Dimension 20. I'm one of those that has transferred over from an actual play show. I saw how inclusive it was, and I went out to look for how to play. And I could not find an easy way to do that. And so now I'm writing a book on how to play. My audience is going to be new DMs, right? Working with new players. So there's a lot to kind of build and a lot to untangle and which mechanics matter and when. So right now I'm testing that out in Learn to Play classes. I just taught session 3 of one today in person, which was really fun. And I'm also pretty loud in this space about accessibility and safety and inclusion for folks who don't fit the traditional D&D, stereotype, because there's so much. I just read an NPR article today that said that the D&D company has established that at least as many women are playing as men now, which is a really cool stat.
Yep.
I don't know about our non-binary baddies. I want to hear your stats too, but so I'm just found a place where my passion and a new hyperfixation have collided, and I'm really having a fun time. And I got to play in Britt's first game where she was DMing, and she's spectacular.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Main thing is have fun with your friends, get together, and build your communities.
Heck
That's
Exactly.
the key. All right, so Jenny will be on as soon as she's able to. All right, some surprises here. So my great sponsor, Troller Games, has stepped up. So all 4 guests will be. In addition, we have 2 $25 gift certificates to Troller Games for the giveaways tonight. Exclamation point drawing to get into them. They have. Oh my gosh! And I thought I was going to hit the Tim button. Oh my gosh! So this is the Castles and Crusades starter set. All right. So all 4 of you are going to get this in hard copy and PDF. Okay.
Are we on Oprah right now?
Hey, this is
Awesome.
yes. So
Yeah.
all right, just a note. So you get that, and you get old school play from Castles and Crusades. It's but they don't use THAC0, but they great company. Love all the people there. Just wonderful, wonderful people. And
Thank you, Trollord Games.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
they're pretty
incredible.
They do
I'll
lots
get
of
you
good
your
stuff.
download links and your links for if you don't have an account, you'll have to sign up, but no big deal. So all right.
Okay.
I'll tell that again when Jenny comes on. That'll be the complimentary giveaway for all 4 of you. And then I have at 8 o'clock Eastern a special guest coming on, just for about 5 to 10 minutes to say welcome, hello. No one, only Anna and I know who it is, by the way. So,
Now I'm curious.
Yes.
Me too.
Yep. Okay. Someone
So fun.
someone who's
Played a long time.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, has a lot of different perspectives.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
Okay.
ask the first question because I always do. Give me a little bit about your D&D, your DMing style, but where you got your inspiration from to mold the DM that you are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
like,
a good one.
Who inspired you? It may be a number of people. It may be just a show you were watching or whatever. But whoever wants to take that on first. I always like to know that.
Well, I can go.
Go ahead, Tony.
Everybody's like quiet.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We're trying to be polite.
I know, right?
okay.
And it's really hard online.
Wait till Jenny comes on. So,
So it's not as exciting as that from when what inspired me to start DMing and things like that. I started playing Dungeons and Dragons when I was 10 years old, and I found a monster manual at a garage sale.
Nice.
And I was like, I don't know what's in this. It's really cool. The pictures,
Brad.
first edition monster manual was very exciting. And then my cousin lived across the street, and we would just, had no idea. We were just talking. So finally we bought a player's handbook, and we didn't know anybody else who was into this. We didn't know anybody else who liked this sort of thing. So we would just take turns DMing, like just, making, it was much more like choose your own adventure kind of stuff at that point. We were just like, this is, but, and then, because I'm so introverted, once we did find people who shared the same sort of passions, I just kind of kept going with it at that point. And I really enjoy drawing people in and getting them excited and seeing like people be like, oh, that's so cool. And I really like doing that kind of stuff. So it wasn't like a particular person kind of started me on that path.
Understood.
But I haven't let go since I started. So
now I know you're doing a lot of writing. You're mostly 5e now, 5e.
Different stuff.
Okay.
So I actually just worked on MCDM's Draw Steel, which is their own system.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I recently also was the writer and one of the editors for Legends of Avantris's Crooked Moon. And Esper Genesis's Expedition to Barrier Peak or Mystery Peaks.
Not a ripoff.
So those are all very different sci-fi. Although two of those are kind of based 5e-ish, but Draw Steels, it's kind of its own thing. So
right. Awesome. Wow. Rebecca, on that question?
Yeah. I grew up evangelical, so we didn't really have a lot of access to things that had devils or demons in them. So I wasn't so lucky to get things like a monster manual when I was a kid. But my influences are all very modern, because I am here with a beginner's lens. I'm very new to the culture, and I'm very fresh-faced, bright-eyed, and it's brought out a lot of play and childlike energy for me. And so my influences are people very obviously Brennan Lee Mulligan, he's the one that got me into this, but also includes a lot of friends I've made along the way. I've gotten to play in a lot of games where there's a lot of women who have DM'd maybe once or twice, and I've DM'd, maybe a little bit more than them. And I've learned so much from just the things that they throw into their games. And I would also say I just follow vibes. That's how I've been doing this whole journey, is what's the vibe of the game? I started my first campaign with my 6-year-old and my nephew who was 7. And so it was very much vibes it out from there, because we were not able to keep track of pretty much anything. And so we were just picking and choosing rules along the way. And that is very much how I continue to DM.
That's a 5e style.
Yeah. Yeah, very modern.
Yeah. It's nothing wrong with that. No two DMs in the world are identical.
Yeah. And my games are usually full of beginners, and so my games are always with a teacher lens on as well. I was an elementary school teacher for many years, and so a lot of those tools come out.
Excellent. Very cool. Britt?
Well, I guess that leaves me then. Yeah. So interesting enough, I grew up evangelical as well. So, being in the Black community, there are just certain things you just don't play with, you don't look at. And My husband got into D&D, I would say, like 4 or 5 years ago, and had a really hard time finding people to play with. So I became like a play test for him to start DMing, essentially. And we played one game where it was me, and then I decided to have my real life dog as like my companion. And that was extremely stressful because she was in the line of fire, and I didn't like that, so I got rid of her. But so that's where I started. He was watching a lot of Critical Role. I wasn't really into it. I couldn't get into like the really deep narratives. I wasn't super interested in like Middle Earth and things like that. So I just thought it wasn't for me. And then same, I found Dimension 20 and I found Brennan Lee Mulligan, but then I watched one with Abria, and that moment changed like everything for me. I was like, oh, we do this. Black women do this. And so between my husband, Brennan, Abria, they have been like my biggest inspirations. We play a home game where my husband homebrewed the entire thing. And I was like, oh, I don't have to be in Middle Earth. Like it's like an isekai hotel campaign where there are like different levels. And so we're like in a hotel, like fighting all kind of random stuff. And it's like, so I don't have to do that. I've always been a writer. I've always loved telling stories. And so it's like, oh, I could tell stories in like this really interactive way. And finding out the way that my friends figure out how to circumvent the stories that I tell has been really fun. So, um, like charming the BBEG because I didn't know to make them charm proof. So little things like that have been really, really nice. And so my style has really come from watching them and just kind of my own wanting to represent for girly pops that want to
Nice.
play.
Wonderful. I just love hearing how, enticed everyone, for me, it was 1978. I mean, we're not going back decades, but yeah, that's how old I am. Getting that Homeless Basic box set.
I'm older than you, but you started a couple of years earlier than me. Yeah, I started in 79, 80. So yeah,
both of us in that time frame.
Yeah.
I thought I was playing for a long time, but
no,
yeah, you guys beat me.
A little bit, Tony, not much.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, Jay and me, we are that age. We're happy we're still playing, so to speak. So yeah.
Yes.
Being the new kid on the block, it's been amazing how welcoming the community has been.
Mm-hmm.
You have that in common with the Swifties, I will say.
But that's the wonderful thing, because D&D used to be the opposite. Used to be
absolutely
the opposite of welcoming. That shifted, like it started about 20 years ago to be more inclusive and shifting. And then gradually, if you go back to the 80s and the 90s, it was very much like it was insiders for nerds, so to speak. So you have to pass the nerd test to be included.
Anna.
Yeah. And that was I was part of that.
I know.
Keeping all the gatekeeping. I was as bad, probably worse than most were. So
really?
And then then it started to change, and it became. But you simply realize after a while you needed new players, so that you need to open up and you need to let someone in and you need to test them thoroughly, and then you kick them out if they were not good enough. But then eventually you realize that it's more fun if you open up and let people in, and then there are more and more ways of playing the game, and so I love the fact that it's more and more inclusive. So and look at it now, meaning it's as bigger than it's ever been. And I see that thanks to us being able to change and be forced to change and be happy to change. So in that sense, it's awesome and that doesn't mean that people who used to play one way, they can continue to play that old way if they want to. That's the beauty of it.
Exactly.
So you can play the way you want to. That's and now, since there's so many different tables, you just have to find the group that is right for you.
Exactly.
So to speak.
You can meet such cool people doing this too.
Mm-hmm.
Like randomly, like you'd be like, what? Oh, literally, I was at the grocery store and I had a shirt with dice, and somebody came up to me and was like, I love your shirt. And like, we just started talking, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like people are so nice, most of the time. I mean, you're going to find the outliers and the people who are like, well, that's a terrible human being. But, most people are pretty.
I'm laughing to Phantom NJ in chat that said if playing bingo, it didn't have that. I was admitting, but I used to be tough at gatekeeping.
The
back
80s
in the
are different,
long time.
Rob. Phantom. The 80s were so different. I mean, I was in high
Yeah.
school, and we tried to get as many people in as we could. It was just different. It was different. back then.
Yep.
I mean, you get
It's been different
Mazes of
every
Monsters,
decade
Tom Hanks, all that
Yeah.
crazy stuff
Yep.
going on.
Yeah, I watched that. That was a trip.
Yeah, Chris Makepeace. Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
pretty
it was
out
also
there.
when the internet came around, that also changed things because then TSR back at the time was trying to fight the internet so bad. So if you started posting about your campaign,
shut it
they
down,
sent you a cease and desist and stuff. And that meant that they didn't want you to talk about it and share your campaign and the stories and your characters and stuff. So it was crazy times back then. In different times, it's crazy times now too, but in different ways. So things have changed. Yep. And now, for the most part, when it comes to the gaming, it's for the better, way better today than it's been, in my opinion. Yeah.
We can argue that, yes, most is for the better, but then we can argue about old rules versus new rules at another time.
But the good thing is that you can play using any rules you want.
I'm excited to learn the old rules from you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Tony and I play in the campaign, and so you may think this is a little crazy. I have 28 active adventuring groups.
Do you really have that many now?
Thousands of characters.
Is that why we don't play very often?
There's like 9. Wait. So last summer I asked Tony 35 times, and what'd you play? Once or twice? You were busy last year, right? So
I was having problems. Life was trying to kick me.
I know. We'll get you and your fiance. And so, who's cooler, you or your fiance?
I mean, Jeremy's pretty cool.
He is cool.
So
he is the coolest guy.
Very sweet.
Yep.
He's a great guy. Yeah, absolutely. They both playing the game. All right. So Anna, why don't you throw a question out?
I was thinking, a lot of you talk about different rules in games, and so I was thinking, are you a single game system kind of DM, or are you multiple? Do you want to play different games, different times of the week, or for different campaigns, or I want to play in 6 different styles? Or are you one of these that, I found my rule system and my style of play, and that's it, and nothing else, so to speak? I was kind of, how prolific are you in the type of games you run and play in, and so on? So I started out playing all sorts of stuff back in the 80s, and then I was like, no, D&D, and then it was only D&D for 40 years, and then I've shifted rules edition of D&D, so to speak, and now I'm making my own. But so I'm very much like in the one rule system, and then I don't want to I play in others, but I run with one game setting, one rule set, that's it, so to speak. But I was kind of curious. So Becca, let's start you. Are you the many rules DM, or do you want to have one?
I would love to be many. Right now I am pretty much only D&D because that is what I teach. I get a lot of people asking, why don't you teach other systems? There's other systems that are easier for newbies or more inclusive in the way that they're run. But people ask me to learn D&D, not other systems. So most of my work is focused on that. I've played as a player in Monster of the Week, and I don't think I've had an opportunity to play any other systems because there's just like so much to learn and only so much time and brain space in the day.
That's the
I would love to play some one-page RPGs like Honey Heist or other games like that, but it's like finding the table, finding the time, finding the schedule that works. So that's one of my longer term goals.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And Britt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so mostly D&D, but we have a Discord server, and we've started running some play tests because we have different players that run different games.
Too. Yeah.
So we also develop our own mechanics and stuff that we think is cool. I had a game where I did like a bakery murder mystery, and we did a mechanic where we used 5e basically to have them like bake and present their cakes, and then like they had to re-roll certain things like if they messed up. So learning a lot of that, but I'm finding that there are other systems that might work better for those. So we're trying out we had a Pathfinder game the other day that was fun. We're learning Monster of the Week, Daggerheart. We're opening our horizons to a lot. Someone's playing my husband's been calling it Mork and Mindy, and I cannot think of what the name is called, but it's like Bjork.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah.
Is it Morkborg or
yes,
like that?
someone is going to run that for us.
That can be. Yep.
Yeah.
I played that a
so
few
yeah.
weeks
Mork
ago.
and
That's
Minnie.
good.
I will
So
never
good.
not think of that now.
That's the
Yeah,
only
good
thing I call it now.
Yeah. And Britt, it sounds like you in need of a dough golem. I think that I saw that statted up somewhere, so to speak. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe Golem would be perfect.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly. We had a chocolate chip cookie that came to life, so close enough.
There you go. Yep. Awesome. And Tony.
So it kind of has changed as time has gone on, sort of like you
Yeah.
said. So when I first started, I had that like monster manual and we picked up and we had no idea what we were doing. So the first game that I got to play with a group was actually Mech Warrior
I
and
love
Battle.
There you
I play
go.
MechWarrior and BattleTech. You know
Yeah.
it. Love it.
So we
Awesome.
played that, and then I tried a couple other games and really kind of we did whatever people could do because it was hard to get people.
Yeah.
And then around the time when third edition came out, that is when I switched to basically only D&D. I did the roll 20 shoot offs and all that stuff, and did that for years and years and years. And I now find myself again lately drifting back more to more variety and trying different things and having a good time doing it. I played Shadow Dark recently,
Nice.
and that was pretty fun. And I'm streaming at GameholeCon. They do some like charity streams and stuff, and I am playing Planet of the Apes.
Really?
Yep. So, and
love
that's a
that.
D6 system.
Fun.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
I am also playing in, and I had not heard of this before, but it's called Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I haven't
Yes.
played in
On
it,
my
but I've
list.
heard about it. So
I really
yeah.
want to play.
So I was like, I gotta pick that
Mhm.
book up and stuff.
Yeah.
But
The juiciest name in the industry.
Yes.
Mhm. Yep.
I was like, this is a thing. This is awesome. Like,
Mhm.
so I'm sure it'll be really fun. My friend Ginny is running it. She also does a lot of
Ginny Loveday?
gaming. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So it'll be fun. So I just now lately, the last couple of years, D&D is great and I love it. And I do like doing like different worlds and different campaigns and things like that. But it is fun to kind of almost do a palate cleanser every so often and have a Cthulhu game or mix up, because they're all very different flavors too.
Yeah.
Tony, I'm sharing some GaryCon 2025 and 2024 pics of us. So there you go. Of course, there's Jeremy, Eric Mengi, the whole crew, Chuck
Yep.
from Troll Lord, fun group. Cons are where, cons are the ultimate, hey, meet these people in person. Fly
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and to share some of those wonderful pics of the experiences we've had together, and Anna as well, there. And that's just that's great. All over the place, Tony. That's fantastic. Paige, both Tony, myself, and Anna are all special guests there. There's a rollerball game. I want to get in that because I love that James Caan movie from '75. I want to try it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a rollerball.
Yeah, there's a rollerball
You are
RPG this guy has.
storytellers. I love it.
I really want to get in that game, but you know how busy we are. We all are when we're running the cons. So we'll see if I can get in the game. But yeah, lots of fun stuff. Great question, Anna. All right, let's go a little dark.
Oh.
No, not too dark.
Can't wait.
Can you get any of you have a recent or maybe not so recent being a DM or being a player having a situation and you had to have a resolution to it? Could be a problem player, could be differences of opinions, something out there. And I'll be blunt. I'll start on that one. Every 2 to 3 years, I get into a blowout with one of my guys I've been playing with for 45 years. Right?
Mhm.
Always happens. Something happens, and I had one of them a couple months ago. Even
But
if
they
you're
seem to
friends
come
with all
back.
these
They
years.
seem to come back again.
I understand that, but yeah, it does happen.
Yeah.
It does happen. So, you have to come to a resolution, and you have to, talk and resolve the situation. So, Anyone? I
Mhm.
mean, if you haven't had anything,
I have two ideas coming to mind.
cool.
The first one is that when I first started, it
Mhm.
was just like I was watching Dimension 20 one night, and I texted my friend, and I was like, "We should learn to play D&D," and she was like, "Great, I'm in," because she's ADHD also, and we were just like, no impulse control. And
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
I texted my friend who's been playing for 25 years. She's been playing since she was 10 in her room with her manual, and she was like, "You are going to die if I don't come. So let me come over and help you." And I was like, great. And we almost did die because we had no idea what was going on. But after that, she stopped answering my texts about it, and she stopped responding, when I would
Oh,
bring
wow.
up D&D, and I could tell things were getting uncomfortable. And so like the night before our next session, she dropped out last minute, and I was
Oh.
devastated because this is my new interest. She said she was going to be here with me on it. I was
Mm-hmm.
so disappointed. And then she said she actually went to like on vacation at a resort and met some women in the hot tub, and they saw her tattoo, which was like from a fantasy book, Akatar, if if the ladies are aware.
Mhm.
And they were like, "Oh my gosh, you love Akatar. Do you play D&D?" And she was like, "Well, let me tell you what happened with my friends." And she was like, "I just really freaked out. It was too much, and I didn't know what to do, and I felt overwhelmed, and I didn't want to disappoint her. And I know she cares so much about it." And they were like, "Girl, you got to go talk to your friend and also let her know what's going on, because she can change it for you, and you guys can learn along the way together.
Yeah.
And you don't have to like never you don't have to have this weird spot in your friendship forever. This is a girl I've known since I was like 12, you know?" So
Yeah.
she did come back to me. She was brave, and she was like, "Listen, the universe sent me these two women on vacation, and they told me to tell you how I was feeling." And I was like, "You don't ever have to play D&D again." And she played with me once more after that, and she said she'll join in again. But knowing that it was okay for my friends to not play with me was a tough lesson for me to learn.
Mhm.
There's a big difference between the person who plays it casually, and the hardcore person who wants to play 3-4 times a week.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
absolutely, 100%,
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, and
Hey, Chris.
there's different. So when you're at a convention, that happens more, I feel like, because play styles are different. Nobody knows each other. You're gonna clash, you
Mhm.
know. Um, I've had to ask a person to leave the table before because
Wow.
they were being outright homophobic and racist.
Oh,
And I
That
went and
sucks.
I marched right up, and the guy's like, "They're not gonna believe you." And I was like, "You want to bet? Because who's running this?" Like, yeah, he was
Damn.
awful. They kicked him out of the convention, like
yeah.
and there's been uncomfortable moments where I've been like, like even as a DM, I've been like, okay, you know what, you are pushing a line here. You might
Mhm.
wanna, and sometimes people don't realize they're being,
Mhm.
and sometimes they're not. But like you said, sometimes with your friends, you know, people get, hot or attached or whatever. And there was a time I can think of that I was running, and I'm like, you sit down or go home. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna cool off and talk later, because
Mhm.
you're getting a little feisty, and
Yeah.
it's not cool right now. But I mean, it happens, as a player
Mhm.
too.
And on
You know,
Twitch, and when you're live streaming, there's that
Oh,
line.
that's
There's
Mhm.
that
tough. Yeah.
line. And some of us, like Ed Greenwood, know how to get to the line and not go over it, right, Tony?
Mhm.
Playing around. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I'm kidding.
harmless. I know he's harmless, but you
Mhm.
always
It
worry.
is.
You always worry about who you're playing with, especially if you're live streaming it, because one incident, could ruin it
Yeah.
all. So yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's different. You
Mhm.
can maybe, relax some of those things a little bit if you're with your friends. You might be, might be making a lot of dirty jokes and in at home. But like if you're on a stream or you're in public, you're not gonna, there's a time
Mhm.
and place. And some people,
Absolutely.
I
Mhm.
think, don't quite always get that.
Mhm. So what do you think, Britt?
Well, I had an incident in my home game. I was a player. We had a player and her boyfriend playing with us, and they were the type of players who also felt like they were boyfriend and girlfriend in game, so no one else existed. They only healed each other. They only, we would go to a new level, they would beeline for each other.
Oh
No one
no.
else existed. But there were also like, uncomfortable jokes, and she was inappropriate, lifting her shirt at the table, just doing really
Oh,
weird
boy.
things. And we were playing at my house, and so it was like, I don't want you in my home anymore, and that was difficult because we had just started. We had been playing maybe a month, and already having to kick two people from the group was I'm not a confrontational person at all. Hello, Jenny. I'm not confrontational. So for me, that was difficult. And I didn't want it, because my husband is the DM, I didn't want it to seem like I was like puppeteering a situation. But we ended up having to have a conversation with all of our players, and they all felt the same. So that was the first and only incident so far that I have had. And that one was more like clear that they needed to go. Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Hello.
Our fourth guest to this panel needs no introduction, but we're going to give her one anyway. So everyone, welcome Punk Rock Jenny.
Oh, shucks,
Welcome.
thanks. What did I miss? And what has been happening? And who let you
We've just
in
been
here,
talking
Jay?
about you.
Yeah, I know. I kind of
Waiting.
sound like a sore thumb in this one, don't I?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's okay. So thank you for coming on. So Jenny, why don't you tell us a little about yourself and what you've been doing in the gaming world, how you got started, and that'll get us pretty much caught up. We've only done 2 questions, so yeah,
oh man.
yeah.
I just caught like the weirdest tail end about like playing with husbands.
Oh yeah,
and
we,
I'm like,
we,
ooh,
talked, we talked about the worst, the bad things that have happened, so to speak. So, yeah.
Thanks,
of
Patrick.
course. Why wouldn't we? And I don't even have a cat on camera like Tony, so I feel like I'm doing this
she's
wrong.
mad because I'm not sitting on the couch snuggling.
Oh,
how dare you? Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Punk Rock Jenny. I am a dungeon master who mostly runs in-person games these days, but bandwidth is tight and DMing prep takes up an enormous amount of time sometimes. But the more I do it, the better I get at it. I make a lot of fun TikTok videos about the psychology of DMing and being in Dungeons and Dragons games, and the bright side too, and a lot of the hilarious side, and with a really strong focus on the psychology of music in Dungeons and Dragons games. And I get to have a lot of fun doing that and building community and hanging out with dudes like Jay and chicks like Anna, and talking about the D&D scene and living it in real life.
We really appreciate you coming on. We had a great discussion about a year and a half ago. You, Sly Flourish, Ed, and Anna and me. It was awesome. It was a fantastic
that was fun.
discussion. Hey, Dice Legends, we got a raid in from Vahid at Dice Legends. Thank you so very much, Vahid, for coming in. I just did he's got a new podcast coming out, Dice Legends, and I've already done 2 episodes for it that are come up in the future. Great guy. New Zealand, right? You're not Aussie, you're New Zealand. I always get them all confused. So, but thank you so very much. So Jenny,
well, one has bluey, Jay, and one doesn't. So
New Zealand, yeah.
Yes. It's
yes.
just because we got a lot of yeah. I thought so. I thought NC. One thing you missed, Jenny, we do have a special gift for you after we
We're on Oprah.
Yes, we are. Yes, Oprah. Great. It's just great sponsorship. Troller Games is going to give all 4 of you this in hard copy and PDF. It's their Castles and Crusades full starter set. Okay.
Cool.
Yep. Get into some old school esque gaming. Great company. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful company.
Message me, Troll Lord Games, and we'll collab and we'll do a TikTok.
Oh, there you go. Sounds good.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
I will get Chuck and Grace in contact with you.
Yeah, Grace. Chuck, meh, Grace.
Grace is cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
That's the way you all feel about Chuck anyway, right? No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding. Chuck's a good guy.
Chuck.
He's awesome. Yeah.
Chuck takes a lot of punishment there. So shout them out. We got 2 $25 gift certificates for the community exclamation point drawing. So Jenny, we had 2 questions. The first one was your inspiration for being a DM, and then a couple others that were talking about issues at your table. I know you're very strict on who you get into your game, and that was the last question we had while you were just logging in. So you want to take up maybe an issue you've had in the past that you resolved?
I mean, I am strict about who I have in my games just because my free time is so finite. I'm so busy, and your free time is valuable too. So you should, prioritize that and only play with the people who elevate your fun, right? And your play style and make you a better DM or a better player. And it should be something that you look forward to and not dread. So I'm like this huge advocate for vetting people. But again, I also play in person, right? And so Jay, we were talking about this a lot last time we met. Like, is there a difference between how you vet people in person and online? And right, if you're coming into my house where, my kid is here and my pets are here, it's different than if I were going to play online. But the great part about playing online is like, if it sucks, you can just leave, right? It's a lot harder to leave your own house. But I'm a big advocate for finding the right people to play with. And sometimes that takes a long time, especially as this hobby is exploding. There's so many people interested and there's so many different ways to play the game, which is cool, but you got to find your people.
You do. 100%. So I'm multitasking like I normally am because I just do too much. I do too much.
Well, someone has to run the stream.
Someone does. Yes.
I never want to be a streamer, so thank you for having me on.
Oh, that's no problem. No problem. Here comes another raid, Broomgal. Thanks, man. So
Yeah.
I know, Jenny, you used to do it, and now you do a lot of Instagram and TikTok vids, which is the way you've been very successful at it, and it's been very cool. I always like watching yours. One quick question. Those little changing minis, did you ever get one of those and check them out? Remember we were talking about those?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The miniature thing that changed the hologram on the inside?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The little Bluetooth minis. No,
Yeah.
I never tried one. I was hoping that video would like spark something and someone would be like, yeah, here's some to try out. Here's some to review. But none of those companies had any interest in like going any farther than that Kickstarter. So I don't know what happened. Like for a time there, they were all over my page, and maybe you ladies have seen these too. They're like miniatures, but they're not actual like miniatures. They're like a square that you can Bluetooth in your character art for, and you can ever change it to whatever you want it to be.
wow.
So it's supposed to be like the last
looks
mini
cool.
your players will ever buy because they could just put their character art in it and go. And then there were things I didn't like about it, like you could also add sound effects, and I was like, my players will never stop. Like if that had sound
You hear
effects.
that
Fart
understand.
noises.
You know
I
what's
was
gonna
like,
happen.
that would be me. I
All
would be
the
annoying
farts.
person.
Forever.
Yes, all that stuff.
Yeah, I moved 10 feet, fart.
Yeah.
Definitely. I was just curious because I didn't pursue it because with me with painted miniatures and terrain and stuff, I can see where it could, you're on a small setup or whatever, limited space, it's perfect.
I'm into it. It's the future. I want to see some, but we'll have to. Maybe
Okay.
somebody in your chat has used them before and can tell us about them.
Yep. Okay. Well, keep us posted. Keep me posted if something comes up with it. By the way, at
Well,
8 o'clock,
we'll do a review day, Jay. Like
Yeah,
one day
let's
we'll
do
just
it.
review a bunch of stuff.
let's do it. We need to collab more. We really do. We got to collab more.
It's fun
Let's
to
go.
collab with people. I
It
think.
is.
Like, you're like, this person is so awesome. And then like whether like for writing or gaming or whatever, you're like, it's fun to be creative with another person.
Speaking of that, our special guest who's going
Or
to
at
be
least
on at
that's
8
what I'm
o'clock just to
feeling.
say hello is collabing with Anna and me and a couple other people. So.
Oh, cool.
Another hint.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, are we trying to guess the special guest?
You can.
No, but we can.
You can if you so choose.
Are they a boy?
Oh, we're not gonna play 20. You want play 20? It's a male. It's a male.
Okay.
It's a male.
Okay.
Yeah. So, let's do a fun question right now. If you could play D&D with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be? And it could be multiples.
Hold on, I gotta go to that page in my journal.
My goodness. Anybody, huh?
Yeah, for me, it's Carl Sagan. I
Okay.
loved Carl Sagan growing up. I loved Cosmos. I loved his science. I learned a lot about science when I was, that would be, I've been fortunate. I've gotten to play with Ed Greenwood. I've gotten to play with a lot of big names in the industry that are still around. It's just, yeah, I think that would be the person for me. Anyone want to take that up?
Do they have to be a real person?
No. Jim Henson is
Oh.
going to Fumby. Yeah. No, doesn't have to be real.
I'm interested in your fake person.
Well, It's kind of a good, because there's a lot of people you'd want to, but I was actually thinking Dean Winchester would be really fun to play. D&D.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Jensen Ackles himself. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got a man crush on him.
Oh, I really do have a list because
he's got a new show on Amazon called Countdown. Has anyone seen it?
It's
just
it's
him.
on my list to check
You gotta
out.
watch
but-
it. It's just him being badass. That's
Nice.
yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
That's a good show.
I mean, because I did think, I was like, yeah, Jensen Ackles, but I think it'd be more fun if it was actually
Yeah,
Dean
Dean, yeah.
Winchester. Yeah. So
Makes sense.
there you go. I would go for either one.
Okay, good one.
I think that top of my list would be Jo March from Little Women, because she is a storyteller through and through. And then next, I would have Megara from Hercules, the 90s version, for SAS. I think I would have Michelle Obama because she would not know anything that was going on, but she would be like, "You ladies are incredible, and you're doing an amazing job, and I'm learning so much from you." And I'd be like, "Thank you, Michelle." That would be my starters.
Nice.
Fabulous.
Becca, I'm going to start messaging you nice things if you need to hear it, just in case,
Thank you
just
so much.
daily. Like, you're doing a great job.
You could be my Michelle.
Yeah, I'm there for you. Yeah, I got you.
Who else wants to take that one up?
Oh,
Hey, I have another astronomer. You say you had Carl Sagan. I have the next generation Carl Sagan, David Kipping.
Yeah.
He's an astronomer. He has
Yeah.
a YouTube channel called Cool Worlds. He done some amazing, awesome videos when he speculated about the far future, so to speak. So I think having him in a sci-fi game would be really, really cool. And D&D too, because he has cool references to fantasy and stuff at times. So he's definitely aware of the scene, so to speak. But I think that will be an amazing player to have. He seems to have really that kind of creativity scope, so to speak, and literally out there. So when you said Carl Sagan, I was like, yeah, there's a new guy, so to speak. Brian Cox is another one from the same genre that I think will be cool. But David Kipping would be my go-to if I want an astronomer in my game, so to speak. Yeah.
Oh, I would say Paul Rudd because I feel like he is
Nice.
just the nicest person to ever exist. And this is kind of obscure, but Mira from K-pop Demon Hunters, I feel like would be a lot of fun. So those would be, those are my two.
Cool. Excellent.
I would probably play with C.S. Lewis. He's one of my favorite world builders. I think Narnia is such a unique world. I draw a lot of inspiration in my world. The animals talk, and so I think that would be a cool one for a great world builder.
So that's awesome. There would be one other one, and it's nobody. You guys, when I was in college, I had a professor, and I know they were a gamer. I know it because I was in a creative writing class, and he was very cool and did a whole bunch of I loved his class. And I did a paper and I turned it in, and he wanted us to experiment with fonts and stuff. And he's like, you picked the font that D&D's in or TSR or something. And I was like, oh, but he was very cool and very funny. And I thought, I always thought when I was younger that he would have been fun to play with, but I didn't want to be weird. So
It's a deep cut. I like it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Shoot a question out, Anna, and then after Anna's question, we're going to ask for one of you to ask a question for everyone else.
We got a good question from Pat66 in chat that I think we should go first. How do you describe your play style when you're looking for a new player to your game? I think that was a great question. So, okay, let's go take Becca again. Yep.
I right now run classes mostly for beginners. So I say if you're looking for someone to explain the why behind the rules, that's me as the DM. And then I would also say the rest of it is just going to be vibes.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, Britt.
I would generally say that I am a very much, if it makes sense, let's do it kind of DM. I am more into the story than anything. So if you can make it make sense within the world, let's go. And because I'm a beginner, I also like to advertise for beginners as well. And you keep me honest and we'll learn together at the same time. But I also like to advertise for experienced players because I like having the rule person at the table. It's that's not how this works. So definitely always just as an open table, but I also make sure to advertise as being somebody who, when I am choosing players, is really focused on the inclusivity of it. So my play style is like, I have a table in mind that I would like to play, but I want to make sure that everybody is included. So I try to include that in my stories and stuff as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. And Tony.
So I love the role-playing aspect of it. I love it. But I also quite like the tactical part of it as well. So when people are like, oh, it's role players versus role players and the roles, no, you can be both.
Yes.
We can go off and have a great time role playing and have this super immersive story. And then when it comes down to it, I'm gonna put the screws to you. But you also still have to make sure everybody's having fun and you're not just being like, I'm gonna murder everybody. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You have to have fair, and it's a balancing act. But I like to have both of those incorporated into my when I'm running and when I'm playing too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And Jenny, how do you advertise your games or your play style when you're looking for a new player?
I use some very, very specific keywords, and some of those include things like emotional storytelling, role-playing heavy, and unlike the rest of you, because I'm just running home games in my house, I don't play with any new players, and it's not that I'm not open to teaching somebody, I just have experienced players at the table, and it kind of, when you've already had a campaign for so long, it kind of mucks things down. And so I always say that we're looking for experienced players. We can't sit there and tell you, oh, that's your D10. And not that we don't play games like that and have, guests come sit in with us. But when I'm looking for a player for our table, we're looking for experienced players. And we always say, we have funny moments in our games, but we don't run funny games. It's not a joke game. We don't have joke characters. We have laughing moments, but more crying moments.
Yeah. Awesome.
Happy crying or sad crying, Jenny?
Depends on the day.
Oh, good answer. Yeah, great answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I started on Thursday nights mixing my veteran players with brand new players. I call it an academy night where we got to slow down and take a step back and explain what's going on, and it's gone very well. So
That's
usually
awesome.
have people maybe they play 1 or 2 sessions at most, or maybe even 0. So and it's gone well. Kind of trying to you always got to try and recreate yourself,
You're so cool, Jay.
Anna, Jen, thanks.
Yeah.
It's very kind of you to say. I appreciate that.
Well, I came here not just to ruin your stream, but to dish out compliments. First to Becca, then to you, Jay. Everybody else, get in line.
I'm feeling left out now.
Your compliment will be directed to you
next,
when
Tony.
it is your turn.
You're next.
Yes. Very cool. All right. Who wants to ask a question for everyone else? Come on, you gotta have a question.
Oh. Yeah.
Bet you Jenny has one.
I'm harassing people in your chat. Hang on.
Oh, that's okay. Harass away.
Okay. Yep.
I would love to know how you've seen the culture change. Britt and I are new, but I would love to see how you've seen the culture change over time and what you have seen as some of those key factors to change to make it more inclusive and supportive to women and other folks.
I want to emphasize on one of the things. I'm using my authority of being playing too long, so to speak. No, but one of the key things that changed from the early days of the game was much more adversarial. It was about the DM was supposed to outsmart the players. That was a key aspect of old school gaming, and it still is. And it's a great way of playing the game, but it's definitely not the only way to play the game. But old school was very much like the player, you're supposed to think your way out of the situation as a player rather than use your stats and fight your way out of it necessarily. So it was like avoiding things. You had a 10-foot pole was a very important tool to poke around for things. You didn't fall into traps and your character died because you were dumb. You were stupid as a player, so to speak. So that is something that has changed from old school, from the 70s and the 80s. That was very much a paradigm, so to speak. You need, as a player, you needed to be smart, and your DM tested your intelligence level as a player, so to speak. That was part of the game. And out with the DM, you should come up with cool, creative ways of outthinking the DM. So it was much a thinking match, way more than it is today, so to speak. Today, more like, oh, we're telling a story together, we're weaving the elements together, we roll dice to and so on. So that is one of the things that have changed. There's still games and a lot of gamers who play it old school in that sense, but that is one of the things that, at least in the official editions of the game, have changed fundamentally. And I've changed with it. I liked it in the beginning, but I kind of like it better the way it is today than old school. So yeah, but
and I'm the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, and
okay.
there's nothing wrong with the old
Yeah.
school. It's just that that has changed, so to speak. Then, and thankfully today we have the whole spectrum, from people who really want to have it as a thinking game matched, so to speak, and people who okay, let's create a story and be superheroes together, so to speak, and things in between. So that was one of the things that to me have really changed in how the game is played usually. Yeah.
I mean, vibes changed a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what you're saying, is vibes have changed. And you know, people are more, I mean, it was unusual to see a woman play, you know, before. And people were either like, they didn't know how to deal with it. I played a game once with a friend of mine, Radia. We were the only two women, like I think at the whole convention, and we sat down at a table. The other 4 players did not say one word the entire time because they were intimidated. Wow. Apparently.
Wow.
And now everybody's like, whatever, let's, you know, have a good time and have fun. And I felt bad for those people, because we were like, you guys want to like, they just were like shocked, you know. So it is very much, and like I said, with each edition, the flavors kind of change. And you know, there are superhero games, and there are, you know, there's a lot more variety, I think, too, in games nowadays than there used to be. It used to be much more monolithic.
Sure. And that I think also it's and also more now you have the whole scale from super crunchy games to very, very rules light game that are one page, and that I think is another one that I think is awesome. And also one of the aspects that I think have grown over the years is that in the beginning, everything was about the rules, meaning a lot of people, to me, there is one of these often overlooked spectrum of gamers is that for some people, this is a game first, meaning, oh, I got a +3 instead of a +1 axe. So now I feel like, oh, it's good, so to speak. I have more hit points. They love to manage their Excel spreadsheet with their character stuff, and each plus they get, meaning for them it's a game. It's rolling the dice, mastering the mechanics. That's the emphasis of for a lot of gamers. But for other gamers at the other end, it's stand-up improv stand-up comedy or storytelling with a little bit of rules just to give it structure, so to speak. And a lot of gamers are of course somewhere in the middle, but that has emphasized and broadened a lot, so to speak. There's way more towards stand-up comedy. You have live role plays and all sorts of stuff. So that is another way that the game has broadened its horizons over the years and decades, which I also think it's an awesome way to add. You can put a rule set anywhere you want in between, so to speak, on that scale.
And I think that brings in a lot more players then. You know, you don't have to fit into this box that, you know, everybody else fits in. You might like this way, you know, and because of that more broad spectrum, you know, you're going to get more people, more variety of people. And I think it's been good for the hobby in that way to, you know, help its growth and stuff.
Yep, definitely. But I also think it's important that both as a DM and as a player, you should be aware of where your preference, meaning how much do you want to rely on the rules? Is that the key bit, or is it just something it's a necessary evil, or is it somewhere in between, so to speak? So you kind of both, when you play your game, present your game, you present it to others, and also when you're playing it, so you know what to ask for and what to provide and all that, so to speak, because in that way it's different. And it's, of course, there is a bandwidth, so to speak, but you can either go in and say, oh, my game requires a H-page character sheet and you need to write down everything like a tax return, and because that's part of the fun for some games, and other ones, no, just it's a backstory, a few stats, and off we go. Yeah.
So
Britt, you made it sound like you play with rules on like a spectrum of rules, and you're not like you made it sound like you are a cool and fluid DM. Can you tell us a little bit about how you run rules in your game?
I've been changed. I see the rules as a tool set, so to speak.
Right.
And I've over the decades, I figured out what I needed. In the beginning, I was like, "Oh, this is a new cool thing." I mean, I played every D&D edition since basic Red Box 1980 onwards. So, and every new rule set had been like, "Oh, awesome, new rules," and I loved it. But over the decades, I realized that I don't want to learn a new rule set every 10 years. I'm 60 now, and I feel like no, I don't want to really. And also, I've learned what I really like, so to speak. I've discovered my own preferences over the decades. So it's not just learning new things, and also realize that instead of learning a new tool, I'm making my own version of D&D, and that will be the one I die with, so to speak, and instead of playing others. And for me, I figured out I've been very rules heavy when I started. It was all about the rules. It was winning it and so on. And if you didn't know the rules, you didn't play at my table. Now I'm more like the rules are needed, but they are more of a necessary evil. They should be simple and flavorful and then just stand out of the way. And if you don't know them, I know them when I run the game, so you don't need to. So that way I've done a 180 because I realized that's much more fun than it used to be. And I'm also older and more forgetful and all that too. So that has changed my outlook of the game.
Britt, do you want to take up that question that Jenny posed as well? Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Britt, tell us about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the way that I use the rules, because I'm new, I think it gave me an advantage because I don't know the rules very well. So it gave me room to flavor them in a way that works for the story that I want to tell. So I can take like a dagger and create some kind of other magical item and just give it the flavor of a dagger. So we have the actual stat that we can kind of look at to help us flavor it, but you're using like for the bakery game, it was a whisk instead or something like that. So I use the rules to kind of keep me honest as far as like how combat is going to work, but everything else, like I'm like, oh, performance, we can use that to figure out how you're going to what song you're going to choose on your iPod. Like we're going to start running like a 2005 mall game pretty soon. And so we created like these archetypes of different teenagers from movies. So like the emo kid, the jock and all of that. And then created like they're a gamer, but they're a wizard. So like what is the gamer wizard going to do? And just like homebrewing whatever comes up. And so, yeah, we look at 5e rules and go, how can I take this and make it fun so I can tell what I want to tell without feeling like I'm boxed in, basically.
Yeah. Britt, you're so cool. That makes the rules bend to your story. I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
She's cool.
And that is also one of these really cool new things that have come the last decade, narrative rule sets where you can let the players affect the narrative and you have mechanic, meaning that was unheard of 30, 40 years ago. That has now several rule sets that have narrative tweaking built in. And that is a play style that I think for a lot of gamers, that is probably the coolest thing is you can all sit down and forward and advance and tweak the world at the table, so to speak. And for others, that would be like, ooh. and for some people, it's like, yes.
You know, Anna, when I wasn't satisfied with the 1E2E set, and I got 20 books downstairs.
Exactly. You started doing what took me 40 years to figure out. You started figuring it after 5 years, meaning that,
I want to share this real quick, just outsmarting the players. Quick story. This is from Saturday. So this is in the no, this doesn't show. I knew it. I hit the button.
See, there you go.
I knew it was going to happen. So this is just in a downstairs mind shift. You see that dais right there? So one of the players goes, "What the heck is that doing there? That just looks out of place." So everyone ignored it, but then I'm going to call it Coco. Coco's character runs right over it, right? It's a trapper. So get the trapper mini out. and I fumble on the attack. So no matter how much you outsmart your players, it can get screwed up with a dice roll. I don't want to fudge a die roll. Yeah. So
That's
that's fun too. That adds to the tension, the drama, or what's going on. So
the camera just dropped down there. Yeah, just to give you an idea of some craziness.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I got you in the background there, your book there on the background. So another question from any of the panel for the rest of the panelists?
I have one.
Go for it, Tony.
What was a moment or a memory that kind of sealed your enthusiasm for the game? Like was there like a cool drop or a cool, you were like checking this out and suddenly you're like, okay, that was amazing. And then it kind of, locked in your love, it seems. So
question.
Oh. I was really lucky that the very first in-person group I ever played with was led by an amazing chick DM, who was also a doctor. So she was like the most brilliant person I've ever met. And despite being like a total nerd, was the most vivid storyteller. It could absolutely paint a picture without taking all day with just narrative and narration. Just absolutely brilliant. And it really inspired me. From the first session, I was like, this is it. This is my new personality. I'm obsessed with you. And I mean, I'm still obsessed with her to this day. I don't even know if she's still playing. We kind of fell out of touch, but she was incredible. And to this day, I steal so much from her. And just like we steal lots of things from all the DMs we've ever played with. She was one of those that changed my life and said, I can't wait to do this every single week for years.
Oh, I think for me, it was the moment I started sharing the kind of stories that I wanted to tell. So I knew that I wanted to tell these really cutesy, girly stories because I don't care about all, like I said, the medieval and all of that. And like everyone that I was finding that was homebrewing these really tough stories. And I was like, I just want to play something cute. And I started sharing, like, I think I want to run like a bakery campaign. And people actually started responding and being like, I need this. I want to play. For me, that was solidifying. And it was like, there is a lane here for me and what I want to do. And yeah, my very first time DMing, I DM'd on stream because of that, and it was just like this is my thing.
Wow.
Awesome.
And it's gotten to the point now where my psychiatrist is like, you cannot cancel your D&D games whatsoever. She's like, if you cancel a game, call me immediately. This is your thing. Stay
You have
here.
a smart streak there. Yeah.
100%.
Britt, did you just say your very first game that you ever DM'd, you did it on stream?
I did.
Wow.
Yep.
You
I don't know
are
what
brave.
compelled me.
She's hella cool.
Wow.
It was.
Can't
That
even
was the
imagine
scariest
that.
thing I've
Holy
ever done,
jeez.
and it was so much fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyone else want to take that question up?
I don't have a moment that I fell in love with the game, but I have a moment where I really felt convicted to do the work that I do, which was when I was playing Monster of the Week with my cousins. I have a generation of cousins much older than me, all women, and then one cousin in the same age bracket as me, but I don't know her well because we grew up far apart. And two of the cousins have a brother who owns a game store, and their family, is very involved in this game store. They have their own import dice business as well. And so I was like very excited, But the little cousin, we got in there, and the DM, D and Daisies, shout out, she's incredible. Yes, she's spectacular.
I love Daisy. I've been a fan of hers for years and years.
She was so great. So she walked us through Monster of the Week, and she asked us all, what are you feeling nervous about? So that she could prep, our comfort levels. And my little cousin said, I feel really nervous about the NPCs. The NPCs always hate me. And I was like, that's weird because the DM is every NPC. And so after the game, Daisy asked us, what were your surprises? What were your highlights? And my cousin said, I've never played with a group of women before. I didn't know it could be fun like that. And it was because she was playing with these guy DMs who were coming into her brother's game store, and they were just putting her down and making her feel like she was dumb and like her character couldn't do anything. And I was like, oh, this is so real that it's affecting my cousin whose brother owns a store. Like that's how deep this problem is still. And so that was when I was like, I'm activated. I'm here for the girlies and we're gonna change some shit. And ever since then, I've just been fired up.
Excellent.
Awesome. Yep.
It's like I remember things that happened in '78 when I first started playing. You know, just good things, bad things, but you know the memories are all there. And it's instead of us going out to the bar and telling stories, we tell D&D stories. You know, sit around.
Well, yeah, it's like
drinking.
real things, meaning things that happened in game decades ago. It's like it's still there as vivid memories that you share together, like an awesome convention game or something. That is like that's as real as a real memory in that sense. It's like you went on an adventure with awesome people and you had a lot of fun. That's great memories.
Great question. I saw something on long-term. All right, so story-wise, I think it was Pat66 that asked this one. I'm not 100% sure. Long-term plot arcs, or do you kind of go adventure to adventure, every couple of adventures at a time? There's,
that's a good
adventure
question.
path, campaign arc. What do you like? What do you like to do?
I mean, I play a home game, so it's long term. It's the same group of people week after week. I know a lot of you guys play with new players and run games for new players and introduce people to new players. So for you guys, I'm sure it's changing all the time. But for me, it's long term. You know, you've done these too, Jay, like plots that take years to unravel the mystery. And I'm sure you've done them too, Anna. So those.
I got plot arcs that are going on for 30 years.
That's
awesome.
so
cool.
Oh yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, little Easter eggs, boom, thrown out there, little things. It's fun.
I started off doing one shots, but trying to write adventures for 4 different one shots per month was a lot. So I have moved into like mini campaign territory where there's 4 sessions instead of 1. And that's just because we're doing like the streaming. But we are planning on doing a more long-term campaign starting next year. So I'm excited for that because it's going to be a lot less prep time. My brain and trying to do these one shots, I don't know how people do them for years and years because it's a lot. I didn't realize, I think when I started one shots, I didn't realize how much prep actually went into getting ready for a game and then how much mental preparation you have to do even during the game. I don't think I was ready for that. Or having to cast people all of the time. So moving into mini campaigns and then hopefully longer term campaigns is where I am.
Yeah, because running an adventure path is a blast. But when you get to that end, and I'm using a D&D prototype on this. Say you get out your characters are 12. I say don't throw those characters away. Incorporate them into your greater campaign. Have them hire the next group of characters, and that's how it gets living and breathing and growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So I tend to I do a lot of convention play, which is often that by its very nature needs to be one shot or like part of a little series kind of a thing. But if I'm doing stuff at home, it will be an overarching campaign. But I will also use some of those pre-published adventures and work them into the campaign and change them so that they fit appropriate. Like if I'm short on time or I'm like, you know what, I read this thing and it's going to be perfect. When I do it, everybody gives me a background and I try to work, I have a secret twin or, whatever. We try to work it in and, have it be cool because that draws people in. Like that gets them more. If you use what they've given you, then great. You also have to have kind of like you said, or everybody said earlier, matching personalities. So I have a friend. He likes rolling the dice. He names his characters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he gets to play with different people. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a different game. Those are usually the one shots, that kind of a thing. So, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with kind of intermingling them too, and kind of having them mixed up and doing both. So
Yeah, I'm still very much in the experimental phase. I'm still in my first year of playing. And so I have an ongoing, I have an ongoing campaign for my son and nephew that will be a long form campaign. They just hatched a dragon. And what they don't know is that dragon is going to need to be raised just as they need to be raised so that they can get a little bit of their own medicine. Very excited to practice social skills that way. I have theoretically an ongoing campaign in my home game, but we haven't met in months, so question mark. And then my learn to play campaigns are right now about 8 sessions, 2 hours each, where I dole out little bits of information about character sheets and we incorporate those skills right away. Like today's class was session 3 and we just learned about skills, proficiencies, and saving throws. So today's adventure was going to raid a house because they need to get some information and they also just stole a bunch of that guy's stuff. But that was so that they could practice their skills right away and sort of incorporate the knowledge. And next week they'll learn about class features. So that is right now at an 8 session format. And that is just like a testing ground for me to eventually hopefully put it into a book for new DMs, but that's a longer term goal.
Awesome.
I'm totally fascinated that you guys play these games with strangers and you just start a new game with a whole new group of people all the time. Or Britt, you start a stream with just complete strangers. I'm blown away. So
I was really how hard can boys do it,
Boys do it.
Right. I mean, you're not wrong.
Tony, I know you build worlds, but Becca and Britt, do you guys also play in a homebrew setting or do you play in an established setting? How do you guys do that with so many people coming in and out all the time?
Yeah, I didn't know that there was supposed to be an established setting when I first started. In my game with the kids, my sister's fiance was like, "What are we playing in Forgotten Realms?" And I was like, "We're playing a game, pretend together." I don't know. And just a couple weeks ago, I realized why players might want a map. And that was really exciting. And I was like, okay, I get it. We use maps so we can see where we are because there's a land that we're all in. But I'm very much just picking up pieces as I learn about them and playing anyway.
Yeah. That was my next question. I had lined world building.
Sorry, Anna. I ruined everything. I told you, Jay.
I'm going to ask it.
You've done your job.
So it's world building. Is it a passion that you love to do? Is it a necessity, or is why the heck bother? There's stories to tell. Don't bother with world building, so to speak.
For me, it's more what is the quickest vehicle to get somebody to learn this game? Because I just want to get people set up to go jump into their own games.
Yeah. You come up with a cool place and cool stories.
So I'm I don't care. Is that canon? Great. We live here now.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, no world building. I'm just kind of oh, this would be a fun story to tell. And that's the story we're going to tell today. And I just built that out in its own little world. We built a little map for the just for combat. We build it and put it in the virtual tabletop so everyone can see for combat.
So jealous
and we
of
just
you guys.
we just roll with it.
Vibes.
I know. Ours is oh my gosh, I don't even use half the map in Greyhawk. It's always the running joke.
Yeah. So I'm so jealous of you guys who can do it. Meaning I had to turn obsessive world building into a career, so to speak. Over prepping.
Here we go. This is Anna's map for Greyhawk here.
Oh, it's so cool.
That's such a good job.
I'm jealous of this creativity.
That is incredible.
It was a necessity. So
wow. City of Altamira book. They're all just this is where most of our campaigning goes, but.
Anna, this is badass.
But it's all over the place. This is where we'll be this Thursday and Saturday playing, but the Free City Greyhawks up here, and so once I started in this setting in 1980. So I've homebrewed in Greyhawk. So my Greyhawk is going off in a different tangent, and you incorporate some of the canon that comes along and you just make it work. Right. Tony, you don't notice any difference between this and what other Greyhawks you play in, correct?
You wear a different hat. You're okay, what's going on? I wrote an adventure recently for Ballman Games that premiered at Gen Con. And
in right? In Greyhawk
for their Legends of Greyhawk campaign. And the new DMG resets the timeline back a little bit. And so I had to be okay, this hasn't happened, so is it gonna happen? And kind of do some change the point of reference in my mind, but you can do that fairly easy if you're aware you need to do it and just be careful. And
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
Tony, where online can we go to check out your stuff if we want to like look at it and buy it and stuff?
Different places because it depends on the company.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I do have
I'm
a
here for it.
website that is TonyWinslowBrill.com. Although I goofed it up yesterday trying to fix something on it.
Classic.
Jenny,
But there's a portfolio, and you should have like all the stuff that I've written. Because like I said, I've done a variety.
Ooh.
I've worked for
Jenny,
Wizards of the Coast. I've worked for Ghostfire Games. I mean, I've done all kinds of different stuff. So you can get them all over the place.
the 16th adventure
Oh.
in this book, Candlekeep Mysteries, is Tony's. It's fantastic.
No
Xanthorei.
way.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
that book
That's
sitting
you?
right next to me,
Yeah,
so I have to pull out that adventure.
Yeah.
Why are you
Xanthorei.
so
Awesome.
cool? What?
Yeah.
Originally, that book went to 1 to 20, and my adventure was level 20. So
Good.
we had to scale it back.
Wow.
It's pretty nasty. It fits
You're
right
so
in
cool.
Greyhawk because Zook-Damoy is a Greyhawk deity that it's all based around. So it's really cool. Yeah. Yeah. I ran it live stream the adventure. Then I ran a return to a couple months ago, right, Tony? Where
Yes.
I did where they were trying to bring it back, bring Xanthoria back. So yeah, fun stuff.
That's no go. But
And you
I
write
have fun.
Adventure
I
League
actually take
games?
a lot of inspiration from real life stuff. So
She's doing the new
Mhm.
Greyhawk Adventures League. Yeah, for Baldwin.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. She's
Oh
running that.
my
I'm helping with
gosh.
that.
You are
and-
such a cool nerd.
Oh,
This call is full of
thank
cool
you.
people.
My daughter would not agree with you.
You guys are so cool. I'm just some weirdo with a phone.
You guys are all pretty awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm
Yeah,
having
that's
a
how
really
you start
good
your
time
nerd
talking to you
career.
all.
Where's Michelle
Yeah.
Obama? I need her to hype me up.
Oh, I'll message you. I'll message you right
Thank
now.
you.
Yeah.
I'll DM you.
You're doing
Thank you
great.
so much.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what's happened like the last 3 to 5 years. So there's a new con outside Philadelphia called Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo Page. This year, like I was the VIP the first year, Anna was VIP the second year, right? Tony's a VIP this year. So all three of us are going to be there. Jeremy's going to be there, and like we got like triple the amount of community people that are going to be there this year. As we get more and more people like involved, and then GaryCon, we had like 60 people in the community there last year, in March. So it's
That's
just
so
like,
cool.
yeah, absolutely. It's just
I
fun
am a
getting there.
peasant.
No, it's just it's time and place, and real life gets in the way a lot. It's
It
you're
does.
not a peasant, no.
I am a
I get-
peasant. I'm a lowly peasant. Join me on Peasant Talk, where we
Oh
talk
my
about how we
gosh.
don't go to Gen Con.
Can you
No.
give me
I mean, I
advice
would
to
do
overthrow
peasant
my
talk.
lord?
That sounds actually kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. We actually did a really long thread, I guess you'd call it, about what it's like to not be at Gen Con. Because people will be like, day one at Gen Con, I did this. And I'm like,
Damn, why
today
did
I
I
woke
miss
up and
that?
did my dishes.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Gen Con for the last 5-6 years now.
Yeah,
so,
we went to that one 2019. That was the last time.
Yeah,
I
I've been
think
to
we went.
8
Yeah.
Gen Cons.
Oh,
So
wow.
then
Yeah.
COVID came and I dropped it and haven't been back since. So yeah.
I am a part of a community. They put on FOMOCon during Gen Con, and they put it together
Fit.
on Threads, and it
Yes.
was
That's funny.
it was a con, but it was all online, and there were talks and panels and games, and it felt like we were there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Jenny, where the heck didn't I know about that? I would have sounds fun. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, come hang out. Yeah, we'll FaceTime and do dishes together and not be at Gen Con.
Well, I tried to I threw out the invite. If you want to come up to Philly to Page, we'll all be there hanging out. I know that's going to be tough in January, especially if you're teaching, So
Yeah, that sounds cold also.
yeah,
Very.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why don't you come to Florida, Jay? It's lovely.
I'm gonna say something. You're gonna beat me. Last 3 summers, I've had all the surgeries. I've been in Florida the last 3 summers, and I didn't reach out to you.
Stop.
So
Well, you
beat me
were
up.
also like healing and turning into a bionic person.
Yeah.
Very important.
Kind of important stuff.
Yeah, I was in Flagler 2 years, and then on
Cool.
the other coast.
Trains.
I can't even remember. Yeah,
That's all they have in Flagler, in case you were wondering.
They don't have a dock anymore. The dock's gone, right? It got
Yeah.
washed away. So
It
yeah,
washed away.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
absolutely. All right, let's I'm trying to figure out where the special guest is. Special
Yeah.
guest Yeah, it's a guy, so there you go. He's not reliable, I guess. I don't know. We're just kidding.
Do we get to ask
That
another
is-
We
yes or no
scared them
question
away.
now?
Yes,
Yeah.
Anna and myself are working with him on a major project. All
Ooh.
right,
Okay.
along with a couple other people. Another hint.
I think that's the same hint you gave us last time. Jay.
Noble. He's related.
Mm,
He's as related as you can get in the in D&D lore. So
Related.
yeah, as related as you can get in D&D
You
lore.
really do have so much in common with the Swifties.
Yeah,
Yeah. Easter eggs.
I love Easter eggs. I love putting it in
Yeah.
my game. Yeah, absolutely. All right, anyone, who wants to ask the next question, or Anna, or I can, or the community? Someone ask another question?
Ooh.
Yeah, we got time.
I want a question. I have a question.
Go for
Why is it so hard to explain how ability scores and ability modifiers are related? And why do I have to rely on a little chart that just says if it's a 16 or a 17, that's a +3? I need to know the why, and I don't know if there is one. And I've been asking everybody I can find.
You just skip the ability score. Just use the modifier. Never
So how do you
introduce the
determine modifiers if you're skipping ability scores?
You just determine them.
You just give them a standard array of ability
well,
modifiers?
that's the reason you had the ability scores.
Right.
You can roll 3d6 to do it, so to speak.
Right.
But once
and
you have a
people like
point
rolling
system,
the dice.
yeah. Once you have a point system, then you can just do it. So a lot of games you just skip the ability. You just have it's just a modifier you have on the die
Character
roll.
generation is a fun thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
From creating stats, and
Yep.
I let my guys do it. Now the special guest groups, like Tony's character, Anna's, I asked them, what do you want to play? And then I built the character to their liking around it. Just make it, because I want people to enjoy themselves.
Yeah, Samwise have the perfect answer in chat.
Modifiers
It's the
are bell
holdover
curve.
from the
That's
original
true.
system.
Okay, we're on a bell curve scale.
It was so you
Thank
get
you,
10
Samwise.
10 and
18.
11 was the most, so half the results
9
were
to 12.
and the extremes were as rare as possible. So it's it's statistical
math.
bell curve.
Got it.
There's a lot of math.
I figured it had something to do with the math, but I haven't been
Yeah.
able to
That's
explain
the
it to my
reason.
students. And every time I teach it, people get confused. And I'm like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this for you folks.
And also remember, the early editions didn't have the standard modifiers that we have in 5e and later. That was something that came with 3rd edition and then was worked on in 4th edition and 5th edition. So in the early editions, you had one bonus on strength. There was even a different bonus if you were a fighter from everybody else. And the other modifiers or abilities, some of them didn't even have a modifier at all.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's something that came later. 3rd edition introduced standardized modifiers for all the abilities.
I see.
So before then, 1st and 2nd edition didn't have it.
But I calculate everything for everyone anyway, right, Anna?
Oh yeah, he run a full service. So you don't need to understand everything.
Full service.
Full service game. So yeah,
Character log. There you
wow,
go.
yeah.
All right, it's got all the
Nerd.
characters, hit points, the plus it down, blah blah blah. Armor class, you got it. So
Nice.
yeah,
Wow.
yep, that's what you got to do.
I can't. My players have to keep track of their own things. I can only keep track of so
same.
many things. I don't have
Yep.
a super brain like Jay.
No, it's the same here. That's why I designed my own rule system. So it's so simple so that even I can understand it. So that's that. Yeah.
It's not a big deal. It really isn't. It helps move the game, especially if you're live streaming. I just want the game to move along, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. You got to have it move.
Yep.
That's the one that
Timing
you
is everything.
I don't have a combat going 4 or 5
Yep.
hours unless it's something super major, you know.
Mhm.
Well, so like when you do a 24-hour stream. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I did it right before my last
That's
surgery. I was
hardcore.
stupid. Okay, someone go to me again. I've done 2 of them. Someone go to me again, like a week before I get my last hip surgery. Oh yeah, do this. Once you do another 24-hour stream, I did it. I did.
Yep.
You're hardcore.
Yeah.
That is hardcore.
It's fun. It was a blast. It was a good time.
But I think that leads us to a really good question, especially since all of you run games, is I think one of the hallmarks of a great DM is really great pacing, right? And Jay was talking about how he manages so much to keep the pacing going. What are some tips and tricks that you guys have for, the new DMs that you guys are training and players that you're training to manage pacing and keep it moving, especially for those of you that run games online, for others to watch who stream games and stuff. I mean, pacing is everything. What are some things that you guys do to keep things moving, especially in combat?
Yeah.
Good question.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I'll say that I am having to backwards write a lot and figure out a lot of that because I spent so many years as an elementary school teacher going bell to bell. I became an expert at like throwing another thing in here or taking something out last minute or adjusting on the fly because I didn't want my principal to walk in and see the kids doing nothing when we're supposed to be learning math. And so I feel like I got really good with my facilitator timing during that. And so I am having to actually look at it and be like, what are the things that I'm doing naturally that I don't see that I'm doing so that I can teach them to other people? And I don't know yet.
Yeah.
But you're already a good manager of chaos then, Becca, because you've already managed insane children. Okay.
There's a lot of crossover there.
I'll give some tips. Group initiative over individual initiative.
Yeah.
If I had to do 13 to 15 with all the monsters I have out on the table, forget it. I couldn't do it. Group initiative. As a DM, I call out who goes next based on positioning on the table because remember, I'm a miniature and terrain DM. That speeds it up. That cuts time in half.
I've even gone even further. When you initialize, when you have the first round in a combat, I skip initiative completely.
Oh,
it's the story. You just ease into it. It's always natural. If the enemy ambushes, they go first. That's it. Don't even roll because a lot of times for me, it's like you say roll for initiative, and then that kills the whole thing, and everybody goes from story to now it's mechanics and crunch and moving. That I want the story to continue. So I simply the enemy attacks you, and then roll whatever your defense, so to speak, or you get a chance. You have really, I just asked them, what's your initiative modifier? And if they say it's 4, while the enemy has more heat, he goes first. And that was it. I ignore initiative at the first time. Or the players, you see an enemy over there, and the players say, oh, I'm taking my bow and shoot. Then let the player go first, depending on how the story is. That's one of the things, to just get it moving, so to speak. Skip initiative completely unless it's necessary. If you have a standoff and it's important who goes first. If the story tells someone is ambushing someone else, just let it run and don't even bother with initiative. That saves you a couple of minutes. And more importantly, it doesn't break the rhythm. It keeps the story going, so to speak.
Yeah, because rolling for initiative can really kill the vibe. And you know, I'm all about vibes.
Right? But my players love to go ballistic when I say, okay, now we're going to roll for initiative. And they lose their minds and they get the chance to roll. And this is the most important roll of the game. So I understand it can definitely kill the vibe, or it can be the
vibe. That's why you should use it when you feel it's right, so to speak. And ignore it when you feel that is right. So,
Yeah, I was going to say, when I hear roll initiative, I get chills. So I don't know if I would skip it. That's my favorite part.
We do a big group initiative, and they can use what's called a special hero point and add to it and beat the DM and all. So it's kind of a tense moment. It's fun. I am mean.
Because he uses his own points against us then.
Yes.
That's it. No, the points that the audience gave me.
Yeah.
Right?
Then the audience is mean. So I would also say that when you're trying to do and stay on time, and it's not necessarily just for combat, but don't be married to everything you put down. Sometimes you can't get to it all. And you have to be okay with being like, you know what, I had this here, I have to truncate it, or we're skipping it, or, you know, and if it's like an ongoing thing, then you can be like, you know what, they might have missed it here, but I'm going to put it up here later if you really are like excited about whatever it was. And then, you know, it's the same, you know, combat can sometimes drag out, and you have to judge how they're doing and where they're doing. And some of that is just experience. Like it is literally just learning that, you know what, this one monster is super tough, supposedly, you know, by the CR thing, except, you know, the 6 players are going to gangbang it in, you know, 2 rounds, and it's not going to get to go because they're going to focus on it, you know. And, you know, sometimes things turn out harder than you anticipated, and you have to be able to be like, well, he just lost 20 hit points in my mind, and no one knows, you know. So
had to pull that one.
You have to be able to go with that flow and adjust to those changes, but also still be cognizant of your time If
Right.
you're at home
Points.
and you only get to play 2 hours, well, then you're gonna get to play 2 hours, but be like, oh, it's we've been an hour in, so
Mm-hmm.
It does. What another thing is streaming and DMing and playing at cons are very similar. You have a time limit.
Okay.
You have to get on the
Right.
table, get ready. Someone else is coming on that table in 4 or 5 hours. You got to get through. You cannot dilly
Mm-hmm.
dally around. Sometimes the player, you may have to lead the players in a direction. You don't want to do that, but yeah, sometimes you have to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just something to consider. That's what's so cool about having a home game and not having to worry about any of that stuff, Jenny. Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that stuff.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, where you need to go through all that, but for us live streamers, yeah, we gotta think about all that. So I stopped
Mm-hmm.
live
I
streaming my
might
game.
do it again one day.
Yeah, you should.
Never say never.
Yeah, you give it a shot.
Yeah, when my kid is older,
Understood. Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. And getting him involved too. Getting your, my
Yeah,
son,
but I
my son
mean,
was playing.
you guys play with kids, like it's everything gets murdered, everything dies. That is the only solution to all problems. And it's like, okay, but, no one wants to see that all day. I mean, maybe they do.
Yep.
It depends, I think, too. One of my memories here was we were playing at a convention with a friend's 8-year-old son, and he was a druid named Gimli. Good. He was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like it was this adventure, and we were in this boat, and it like dumped over, and everybody's like drowning, and and he's like I cast entangle, and his dad was so patient. He's like, well, we're in the water or whatever, and you can't really cast pick a different spell or something, and he looked at everyone like they were insane, and he's like, but there's seaweed.
Damn.
And it made everybody who was experienced and who had played stop, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right, let's go. So sometimes they can be pretty creative and clever too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a brilliant 8-year-old. When I play with 8-year-olds, they're like, and then I fart.
My favorite moment playing.
50-year-olds, Jenny, my 55-year-olds.
I mean,
That's right. Sorry, my
no
bad.
difference. Yeah.
My favorite moment playing with kids recently was when they got that dragon egg, and I was like, yeah, there's no traps. It's just right there. You grab it. And they were like, yay, this is so great. And the grown-ups watching were like, you guys are in danger. There is something outside the door waiting for you.
But sounds like we've all had very positive experiences in the last couple of years, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So let's ask this question. What do you wish for like the next couple of years in the future? Where would you want to be? What do you want to see happen?
Yeah. What's your target or your goals as a DM?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Okay.
I would say for the space, something that's really important to me is to see more diversity at tables is something I really want to see. I think right now, just in full gloves off conversation, like we are a Black owned AP company and there's not like very many of them. And I feel like the footwork that we have to do to be seen or to be taken seriously is like 5 times as much as another group is. And that's something that I want to see people see us do it and that they do it as well and know that they can do it. But then I also want to kind of open that door for other people as well and kind of show everyone that diversity is not like a dirty word. Like it's not difficult, it's not hard to do. It's really just a moment to stop and say, hey, who's at my table and who am I missing and who's not being represented here? I want to do some other things, like some of these homebrew things that we're coming up with, putting them into like books and modules to share with other people so that they can like use those worlds and do what they please with them. And just to see like communities of color like coming together and creating different worlds that maybe don't exist right now is something that's really important to me and I'm really excited for. And that's my goal first and foremost. I want other Black girls to look at me and be like, she does it, so I can do it, because that's what Abria did for me. So
cool.
That's my goal.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Thank
you. I love like Tanya DePass. If you've Cypher Off Tier, have you seen her, Tanya, at all? check CYPHER
Oh, yes, I
OFTYR.
follow
Tom.
her. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah, she's cool. She's very inspiring. We had her on a little while
Mm-hmm.
ago, and I had a nice talk with her. So
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
absolutely. I know she's talked about some of her struggles too, and I, absolutely see where she does a lot of cons. She does a lot of
Yeah,
really
she
neat
does.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
and some great writing too. So
Yeah, definitely a fan. I've been following her
cool,
for a while.
excellent, very cool. So anyone else want to answer that one?
Britt, I have awesome players at my table, but a couple of them are minorities too, and they've spoken a lot to me about their experience doing Adventurers League and how it's made them feel really uncomfortable to go into like spaces like that, as not knowing anybody, and how they felt they were treated.
Yeah.
How can we support them? What can we do to help? And I'm not just talking about Adventurers League specifically,
Yeah.
but for either people of color or minorities who feel that the space isn't inclusive for them in the TTRPG community, what can we do?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think, first of all, having the conversation and being open to it is a big thing. I think a lot of us are nervous to say anything because you don't want to rock the boat, especially when you're new. So you don't want anyone to feel like they're being called out or they're being singled out. But at the end of the day, I think it's a conversation that should be had. So I think having people that are open to having the conversation has made a big difference just for me personally. And I think just knowing that you yourself are someone who is safe and is a space that they can go to, and actually kind of putting yourself out there as that space for them is going to be really big in the beginning. Because for instance, like I know Becca is that space, for instance, so I know like if I need championing, I can lean on her a little bit. So being that person for them is going to go use your privilege and use what you have to fight for them and to be loud about it is what I would say. Because the more that we see people who don't look like us that are willing to talk about it, the more that's going to push us to then say, well, actually, here's my piece, and actually listen and kind of sit with those uncomfortable feelings if they come up, I think is probably the biggest. Everybody is different, but I think starting there is going to go a really long way.
Yeah.
Here.
Cool. Thanks for
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah. And I wish there was more we could do. Same thing for women, right? I wish there was more we can do.
Yeah.
I wish we wish we had better tools for vetting. I don't play a lot online, but I hear from a lot of online players that go to places. I don't want to say names, but the online spaces where you can just hop into games with strangers or even pay for a paid game and do that.
That can be
That you can do that, and they walk away from it going, man, that was uncomfortable and I'm never going to do that again. And it
Yeah.
hinders women joining the community. And so I think if I were to hope for cool things in the space, in addition to inclusivity, it would be more ways to make women feel safe within the community,
Yeah.
especially
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm hoping for too. I'm hoping for more safe spaces where women and other genders and any marginalized groups can show up and know that it's going to be a safe space. I teach my in-person games not at a game store because game stores here still are not inclusive. I went to one to pick up 2 players' handbooks 2 weeks ago, and the guy was like, "Are you sure that's the one you want?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm sure. I'm on my way to go teach a game. So I teach at a local queer inclusive third space / coffee shop that's also a haven for unhoused folks in the area. And the people that come there are naturally diverse because this is a safe space. This is a space that has been loud about protection. I've always had a trans teenager in my game, testing out their identity, being brave, stepping out into the sun for one of the first times. And I consider that one of the deepest honors and responsibilities that I have. And I intend to, going forward, keep using my privilege as sort of a shield because I can take it, I have so much security in my life due to the various privileges that I've been granted just by my birth circumstances. And I can wield those to be a shield between those who don't need to take more damage, so to speak. My personal goals include writing that Learn to Play book, like I mentioned, because what I envision is seeing folks who can't go to those safe spaces and don't have a place like where I go to learn to play, to give them access to play in their homes. And I hope that, during my little tippy tap writing while my kiddo is at school, someday I can create a community that I don't even know about because they picked up my book and were able to create a safe space for themselves. And then longer term, I have like a super stretch goal of writing an intersectional feminist history of the game, telling the story of all those folks who have been there all along but haven't had their stories told, and really highlighting the changes that they made, the struggles that they went through, and then what that resulted in, that, all the things that those gaming ancestors did for me, so that made it in 2025 I could pick up this game and find this amazing community.
Awesome. Dude, you're so cool.
Oh, stop. Cool. Thanks.
How about you, Tony?
Tony, I can't answer after any of that.
You
guys are. I was like,
this is.
Yeah, you want people. You want to be inclusive, and you want people to come in and have a good time. And I don't know that I had as many grand plans. Like you know what I mean?
It's okay.
Some of us are what they call too much.
A little bit. Nobody's too much. You punch someone in the throat when they do that.
Okay, all right, I'll work on it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the most that, you try to do that and bring in new players and stuff, but I mean, I don't have it handy. I use the little deck of player safety, especially if I'm at a convention. And I don't know that, because you never know what people are going to be comfortable with or what they're not. And if they're like, hey, this is my hard line. I literally had this not too long ago, and I was like, that is what this whole adventure is about. I think it was animal, abuse, and like the farmer's cow's been, stolen, and, whatever it was. And I was like, this may not be the adventure for you. You try to work around it, but I don't have anything as awesome as you guys, so sorry.
Yeah, but I think in your goals, maybe you're going to continue to write the shit out of right.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yes, but I enjoy the world building, and I enjoy writing, and I enjoy using that. I have this passion and this creativity, and I can make this game and do these fun things for everybody. And try to pull them in. I mean, I would love to not just be contract work all the time, but that's a lot harder in this space. So.
Hey, for me, I got 3.5 years left in my real career, and then I'll ramp this up a little bit more even.
All here all the time.
Gotta do the real life stuff, pay the bills first, and then beyond that we'll see. So yep. Anna, how about you?
For me, it's since I'm in that wonderful, fortunate situation that this is my life, so to speak. So nowadays I don't even have a day job. So since 10 years ago, I've been in the fortunate situation that I can actually do this full time, and thanks to a lot of awesome people who donate a little bit of money to me, and do the occasional commission and stuff too. So for me, it's two steps, I think. One is to continue to provide raw material, meaning maps and heraldry and stuff like that for Greyhawkers, to give that to them for free so they can use it in their games. That's one big step. But also I want now creating my own rule system. So I want to run games regularly because I want to have way more players at my table, especially a virtual table. I want to run a local game here too, probably at a game store, because I want to make that game store a safe space, even if it isn't. And in that sense, I think I have enough skin on my nose, and I've been around the game long enough that I know enough about that stuff, so to speak. So in that way, I can, if someone's messing with me, I can mess back. So no. And also I don't never need to go there. That's the good thing. Now I know how to play the game. Now I just want to inspire others to want to play the game. That's what I want to do, so to speak. And I want to provide as much as, and also the same thing with the rule system. I want to give that away too, so to speak, as a tool for homebrewers, so to speak. So if you want to build your own rule system, use my rule system as a base, and then build on top of it and tweak the stuff you want, so to speak. That's where I want it to be, just like with the maps. So I just want to and I want to run regular games in 5 years time. I want to run regular games at least twice a week. and do it and play with lots of players at my table, so to speak. So I want to have way more players plus convention games and stuff too. So now I run convention games, but I will start running regular games from home and also at game stores and stuff too. So to run way more games is one of my things that I want to do that I don't do enough right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm linking. I'm speaking of that. I'm linking something in chat now. If I can freaking find a shout out. We have our own con. It's virtual con 6. So it's right on
Brugal, my maps used to suck too. So just keep at it. It will be great at it. Yeah.
And it's got 4 events in for that. So she's she's got a lot going on. We've got the community stepping up, and then we do that con in October, and then every I got my brain shut off. Every February 1st or 2nd or 3rd week, depending on the schedule, we do a St. Jude Mass fundraiser in the community. So every year, we did 33,000 plus last year. So
You crushed it.
done over 100 grand in the 7 years we've done that. So we try and give back. With all the other stuff going on. Yeah. So just keep the community building and giving back where we can.
Yeah.
Part of the whole thing. So. But I really want to retire from my
and I love
job.
I love the art on this, Jay, for the virtual con. Yep. This is cool.
Yeah, so that is that's available in a t-shirt.
Where's my t-shirt?
Go to merch. The boxes are over there. I'll disconnect myself before the end of the night and show you one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to colorize it. So I had oh my god, my brain shut off.
Yeah, you ordered from.
I had an artist do this. Here, I'll get the art piece. 1 second.
Yeah.
That was
well, now I get to take over the stream.
Yeah,
welcome everybody to the Punk Rock Jenny stream. I'll now be showing you a frame with lots of glare that no one can see. I got to get my glasses, Jay. No one can see it. And then, welcome to my stream, everybody. So today we're going to be talking.
Of the stream?
Yes, welcome. This is my Vice President, Becca. Would anybody else like a role in my new stream?
Absolutely.
Great. Tony, you're nominated as Secretary. Britt, would you like to be CEO? We're also a company now. I don't know.
Sure, yeah. I was thinking treasurer, but CEO
works. I feel like CEO is higher.
CEO Britt. Yep.
Yeah, Anna, you've been like grandfathered in. You've been here from the get-go.
Yeah, I'm the one that lived in the basement when you moved in. So.
Jay, where did you come from?
Is she talking about my basement? Oh,
no. I've survived Jay's basement several times, so we're talking about another basement here. Yeah.
Yeah. See, there's it's Anna colorized it.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah, it was an awesome black and white, and we did a version with we did it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So we did a version for a couple of cons ago that we colored it like the old an old module, and now we felt that we wanted to use it again, and so I made a more full color version of it, so to speak. So some basic Photoshop work. Yeah,
and it's a community thing. It's not for profit, so it's all we're doing our thing here, trying to keep the community rolling here. Right there, I'll bring it up on the screen, so you gotta.
How many games? Yeah, how many games?
We haven't. A lot of streams have not signed up yet. A lot of streams. Yeah, I'm going to be kicking some butts starting tomorrow. Yeah,
I need some merch.
Yeah. So notice my order of Ulick symbols right on.
Yeah.
Right in there.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, he did a really good job with it. So really nice artwork. Just want to return to the Moat House. If you know Village of Hamlet, the original Moat House is there. It's in ruins, so it's kind of a return to Greyhawk thing. But Anna did a great job colorizing it. Yeah, so we try and keep things fresh. So I don't know where my special guest is. So I'll tell you this.
Yeah,
the special guest just had a surgery this week.
Oh, I know who it is.
Wait, I don't.
Oh no.
Oh, look at that! I got your Instagram in the background there, Jenny.
I love looking at myself.
Yeah, relatable.
Yes, so yes, I don't know where he is because we had some cool announcements, and he wanted to say he appreciated everyone, continuing to grow the game. So, God, who is it? Who is it, Tony?
Maybe mixed up the day. Is it Luke?
Yes, it's Luke.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Luke Gaga.
That would have been
cool.
sick.
Wow, that would have been cool.
We'll see. Maybe he may hop on. I can't get him
we'll
on.
See. Yeah, we'll see.
It's for the best. I have
he had
said
shoulder
some mean
surgery,
things
right?
about his dad.
I remember.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to have shoulder surgery.
Luke is such a
have.
wonderful person.
I have two.
Nice.
Him and his wife.
We just won't tell him.
Yeah, it's okay. Hugra is
we
a
just
great
hide.
Hugra's a great person. They got great family, and Anna, myself, Stephen Randy McFarland, and Les are doing a new publication for Mel's Guide to Greyhawk, right? The Borderlands of IUs. And here's the big announcement: Jeff Easley's doing the cover.
Oh, that's awesome.
No shit.
Yep.
Wow.
Jeff Easley art is doing the cover. Yep. So we
Whoa.
got Jeff to do the cover art for it. Yeah. Luke's been working on that. So yeah, that's what's
That
going on.
name's
You like
in
that?
so many of my D&D history books.
Yes. For our new publication there, Dale, it'll be out. We're working on it. So
That's so cool, Jay. Congrats.
thank you. Hopefully, Luke, maybe he'll still hop on, but
Yeah,
not,
we'll see.
so,
Yeah.
yeah. So all right, we got about 10 minutes left. So why don't we anyone else want to ask a question of the rest of the group? I really appreciate
I
it.
do. Let me
Please,
take over
Jenny,
again,
go
Jay.
for it.
You just relax your little self right there. So, ladies, my platform is generally based around the relationship between Dungeons and Dragons and music and the psychology of music in games. And so I was just interested. I love to hear other DMs' perspective about your relationship with music in your games and how you use that. And I know some of you play in person and some of you play online. And so you probably have different approaches to it, but I'd love to hear about it.
Oh gosh, yeah. Definitely use it all. In our home campaign, we use it completely music throughout the entire thing. Haven't figured it out in stream yet. Definitely want to do it. But it definitely helps, I feel like, with the role play. It makes it a little bit less awkward when there's not like that quiet space behind people. So I love
Yeah.
using it for that reason. It gets us kind of out of our comfort zone. The long campaign we're running next year is actually a music-based campaign. It is
No.
basically these people come together and they're in a band.
Shut up.
And we're using the mechanics instead of fighting necessarily. They're like performance mechanics that we're using, and like we're hyping the crowd and stuff like that. So music is super important to us in our everyday lives. So the more we can use it in Dungeons and Dragons, the better for sure.
Britt,
Hard
take my
band.
money. I want to watch this so bad. How can I pay you? I want to see it.
It's going to be free. It'll be on Twitch.
All right.
I will connect with everybody after because you guys are all so cool. But yeah, when we're going to start advertising for it pretty soon. So I'm super excited.
Listen, when I did a live stream, when I played on stream on Twitch, we used one of those services to use music on Twitch when we played our games because they have copyright issues here on Twitch, which is interesting because they're owned by Amazon, which also owns Amazon Music. But that's a whole nother thing.
Right.
But we did use a service, and I went through so many of them. And I'm not endorsed by this company or anything, but using Epidemic Sound was a game changer for us because they have such a
Yes.
robust catalog of fantasy
Writing that
music.
down.
But I know you don't only do fantasy games; you do all kinds of games.
Yeah.
But them and Soundstripe also had a really good catalog. But
Soundstripe.
Epidemic had
Okay.
a great catalog specifically that you can whitelist for Twitch and had a fantasy based.
Okay.
Epidemic, if you do want to pay me money, at Punk Rock Jenny, pretty much everywhere, you can pay me anytime. But I already use you, and I give you all my money every year. So we should talk.
My relationship
Awesome.
to music in game can be explained as followed. Alexa, play Bardcore.
No,
Yeah, that's as far as I've gotten.
no, we can
I'm
change
so
that.
sorry.
We can change that.
So sorry.
And then, you know what? You're not the only one.
Yeah, that's true.
That is
No.
This is
that-
an
that
area
is-
of growth
or-
for
Or
me.
I'm like, give me a second, and I'm on my phone real fast.
No, no.
I Google epic fantasy music D&D YouTube play.
Oh no. And then you're like, at Geico, we can do X, Y, Z. You're just like listening to an ad.
like,
like,
oh,
Absolutely.
sorry.
No.
Ruins the whole vibe.
Yeah, what?
For me, it's a prepping tool. It's
Okay.
part of prep. I can when I find some music that I really like, I can kind of, okay, this is cool, and I'm imagining what scenes it can go with, and I get the
Yeah.
names, and it could be the vibe of a campaign even and stuff. And then and also sometimes I tell my players, this is the music of the scene coming up, so to speak. So the game coming up, this is the background music. And that way they can get them into the zone, so to speak, just like you
Yes.
can get me. So that is something that, and I based around it. And I also sometimes when they have especially like cool now music like Heilung and a bunch of others that are really cool in that way, they use like Old Norse and stuff. There's some names and stuff going in there that have made it into my campaign too, because when they sing about it, that sounds cool. That's the vibe I'm after. So I use music very much like I'm not a musical person at all, but I love to listen to it, and I can be passionate about it without knowing much about it. So for me, it's a prep tool, so to speak. I use it for prep. Rarely, sometimes I play it during the session, but the problem is I used to when I played at home back in Sweden. But here I played in game stores, conventions, or online, which means that online, well, that's you have the rights issues. Game stores noisy, conventions noisy, and you don't have the environment. So therefore, I've used it as a prep tool, so to speak, and getting into the mood for the right mood kind of tool. Yeah.
My guys won't let me do. They say I'm busy enough.
You do manage a lot. You do manage a lot.
Yeah,
you're doing a great job, Jay.
Thanks.
When I come play in your game, Jay, I'll run the music for you. Don't worry.
Nice.
Ooh. Hey, if it's not gonna get zapped, you know what I mean?
I can whitelist you. Epidemic Sound. We could whitelist Jay.
Yeah, let's whitelist Jay.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
That sounds cool.
He's like, I also have no idea. It's fine.
Well, check it out. If you are looking for like a lot of playlists for fantasy music, I started putting some together from my home games that I wanted to share with everybody on Spotify, so that other people could have access to them easily. And so they're on Spotify. You can either type in Punk Rock Jenny or just search the mood, right? You can put in Dungeons and Dragons suspense. You could put in Dungeons and Dragons building intensity. You could put in Dungeons and Dragons bathhouse, combat, arena, lively tavern, suspenseful tavern, whatever it is. And I have a playlist already built in on Spotify for that. It's all instrumental. There's no vocals. You don't want to use it in your stream though, because it is copyright. And a lot of it is independent artists that have submitted their music that want to be in D&D games. And so if you also want to support independent musicians, this is a great place to start.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
wow.
cool.
Thanks, Jenny. I'm definitely going to put one of those on during my game next week.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
Rock out. I can't wait. Yeah, send me a message and be like, Jenny, I'm listening to
your
your tunes.
What do you? They're going to be on a travel episode next week. They're going to be doing a land crossing and then a water crossing. What do you think?
Ooh.
Great. I have one specifically for horse travel that has horse ambiance. And then I also have one for every setting. So if they're passing through a mountain or if they're passing through a forest, I have one for every setting, and it's a mix of instrumental music and ambiance.
Great.
Wow. That's cool.
I have a ton of music I got off of Humble Bundles, right? Because then it's copyright allowed on Twitch and YouTube and all that. And so the music I have on these ads and all that stuff, but my guys are like, just don't, we don't need the music, but maybe throwing it in here and there would be a cool thing. But just, you're right, a lot of that's copyrighted, right, Jenny? So I just would have to worry. Yeah.
Right. So you'll have to use a royalty-free catalog, but there are so many royalty-free catalogs that are specifically made for Twitch streamers.
Yep.
And there's a lot of fantasy music out there that would be great in a Greyhawk setting.
I wonder if the Bards of Greyhawk have a bunch of songs themselves. That's all they do. But I don't know if that's royalty-free, Anna. I don't even know. I never talked to them.
Yeah.
We'd have to find that out. So.
Yep.
I mean, even if they are, even if it is copyrighted music, you can ask them as a Twitch streamer to either whitelist their music for you or not file a DMCA strike against you, and you can use their music.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I did that when I streamed too. I reached out to some of my favorite independent musicians and I said, listen, I love your violin stuff. I'm doing a classical Dungeons and Dragons stream where they're going to be in a ballroom. Would it be okay if I played your music in the stream? You could totally say no, but we're going to plug it at the beginning and we're going to plug it at the end and just name you as an independent musician who said, and they're like, yeah, of course, use my music. I've never even thought of that. And they loved it. And so I'm all about supporting independent musicians.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've done that with one. My best friend's son is in a band, and I use their music.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Just
What a
but
great
mostly
question,
for
Jenny.
ads, and we'll be back screen and stuff like that. Where I put it up. So yeah.
For sure.
Cool.
All righty. So we're winding down to the time. See, I told you the time would fly by. It flew by.
It's my bedtime.
It did.
What's everyone to say in closing like your thoughts about the discussion, making new friends here, new acquaintances. The community's been very asked a lot of questions, which has been fantastic. Please, I'd love to hear that. So I'll start with Tony. I like Tony start this off.
You guys are all so cool. Like, I was just like, I get so excited when I get to meet new people because, I'm like 5 and I'm like, and then to hear everybody else's experiences, which, are going to be different than yours. And I'm like, oh, why can't I be that cool? So you guys did a great job.
You're so cool. You're so
super
cool. Super cool.
Like, you're so
cool. I'm just
cool.
like, everybody, like, it was really cool to meet you guys and to like talk about this stuff, because I feel like sometimes it doesn't get talked about as much either. So it was a good time. So thank you.
Of course. And I'll reach out to you very shortly about some dates upcoming.
Sounds good.
We don't need Ed. You can play without Ed sometimes, right?
Yeah, right. It's fine.
That's like Thursday night. So quick story. Ed's like, I'm going to be in Toronto for this training, and it's 100 miles home. I don't know if I can get on. I said, Ed, if you can get on like 9, 10 o'clock at night, just hop on then. So we get on at 7:05, and I see the Ed sign. I'm like, what the? It's like, well, she got sick. That's your gain, I guess. So he didn't go. So I was like, yes, Ed played the whole time. So yeah, sometimes you get lucky.
Nice.
Right.
Incredible.
Ed's great. Ed's a fun one to play.
He's
with.
fantastic. Yep.
So Becca, what are your thoughts?
Thank you. I've been really looking forward to this stream for a few weeks. And so I'm really glad it happened. It was really thrilling to get to practice using my voice in a new circumstance and getting hyped up by you guys. And I will say, as a final request out into the universe, if anyone knows folks who were involved in RPG culture, TTRPG culture in the early years, who are women, trans women, femmes, non-binary, and wants to talk to someone who's curious about their stories, that would be me. And anybody who can get me an interview with Lorraine Williams will get $1 crispy dollar. Okay?
Whoa.
$1 crispy dollar, because I want to talk to you, Lorraine. I want to hear your side of the story. I just think it deserves to be told. Okay, that's it.
Becca, who is that for dumb
Oh,
people like
Lorraine, Lorraine Williams she bought TSR from Gary and the Bloom brothers in
I have heard the story.
The 70s or the 80s, I believe.
Yeah.
And then she shepherded the company until it's near demise in the 90s, at which point Wizards of the Coast bought the company from her.
Yep.
And she does not have a positive reputation online. And I have just so many questions for her about how much of that is tied up in misogyny and fat phobia and other things that she may have been experiencing during that time, and just what her experience was being a woman running the company that made D&D. So Lorraine, if you're listening,
I hope that you get to tell her story. That would be
cool.
fantastic.
I would just love to hear her side.
Yep, me too.
Thank you so very much for coming on. Really appreciate it. Hope you had a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. I should be shutting everyone out.
It was so great to meet all of you. First and foremost, this is exciting. I've been looking forward to this. Becca is the reason that I'm here. She championed for me to be a part of this, and I am so grateful for I will call us friends now. I'm grateful.
Yeah, we are friends.
We're friends. This has been great, and it's been great talking to people who have been in it for much longer than I have, and to see the perspectives and how much things have changed. And it gives me a little bit of a push, because if it's changed this much in 20 years, then the work that we're doing is not going to go unseen, and we're going to change it even further. And that's super exciting. So I'm glad to be here. Glad to meet all of you. This was fun.
Thank you so very much for coming
Awesome.
on. Really appreciate it. And if once you guys all get the Castles and Crusades stuff, look at it. It's another system outside of D&D, and you'll be like, wow, this feels right. Because it's, like, I've always been in this 1E, 2E world, but like Castles and Crusades is almost right there. Like, a lot of people think Shadowdark feels right for them now, right? Tons of people play the Shadowdark game. Castles and Crusades feels that way. It's just, just another derivation of another system, but it's something that you may want to, hop into and say, hey, I'm playing an old school game. Yeah. So
Heck yeah.
Jenny, you didn't really overtake the stream that badly today. It wasn't bad.
She did
Only
when
once,
you walked
only
away.
once.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's okay.
When you walked away. Yeah,
Oh, don't
that's
tell him, guys. Don't tell him.
Sorry,
No,
sorry.
it's all
was,
good.
it
You
was
were
so
clever.
good.
Quiet as a mouse.
Best part.
Yeah, we were.
Yep.
Nothing happened while you were gone. Gosh, Jay, thanks, and Anna, thanks for having me. This was really fun, and I love this. And I'm a huge advocate for women in D&D, and this was a blast. And to all the chicks out there who are watching this or may watch the archive on YouTube, don't be afraid to try DMing. And I know you have ideas in your head for great stories and great worlds, and maybe you've played Dungeons and Dragons, and you're like, man, this would be really cool if I was running this game because I have good ideas. And don't think that you don't know the rules well enough to run the game. You do. And it's a group game and you can all know the rules together and you can stop and look something up. It's okay. You can look something up. Just have the courage to do it. That's all it takes is a little bit of time and a lot of courage, but it's just try it and you'll love it. And all of these chicks here, they're in love with running games and telling stories and building worlds and having emotional moments with their friends. And you can have that too. You totally can. All it takes is a little bit of courage.
Your people are out there.
Totally.
Oh
You
yeah.
just have to draw them in. You'll get there.
Yeah.
And keep on building your communities. That's the thing. That's it. I mean, a lot of you I all met from just reaching out to you on Threads or Instagram, or I'm not bashful. I'll reach out. It's just, it's okay. It's okay to communicate. And, people may have, everyone knows Anna and I are like a little bit on the polar opposites of the political spectrum, but it works because Anna and I respect each other and we talk, we talk about the game. The game's more important than anything else. And, it's a fun thing. We've had a great relationship for years. And Anna, what would you like to say in closing?
I just want to say first, a huge thank you for being here and sharing. But also, I want to say that it's so wonderful to see that the game is in good hands. Meaning, even in going into the future, it's so wonderful to see a young, new, eager generation coming in, making the game your own, so to speak. That is so awesome and adding to the experience. I love that. That is so great to see. And not only a young generation, but also people from different walks of life and different parts of society and stuff. That is also makes the hobby better. Meaning the more people that play the game in the more ways they play it, the better the hobby becomes, so to speak. The more resilient and the more fun it is. So thank you so much for doing it. So it's awesome for being here. Yep.
That passion is contagious and reinvigorating.
Yep.
And that's the thing with this game. It's if anyone told me it's 47 years I've been playing it, right? My campaign's 45 years old, but I've been playing for 47 years. And Anna, you've been playing for almost the same amount of time.
Yeah, about 45 or something like that now. Yeah.
I mean,
45. Yep.
Yeah, you look back and you're like, wow, it's taken up a lot of my life, but it's been 95% of it has been for the better. All the new friends I have and all the new acquaintances and people, and I still have the old cadre of friends that still play. That's what you want it to be. It's a way to get people together, and it's of differing backgrounds and differing thoughts, because trust me, we all none of us are all alike, and just like no two DMs are alike. It's something that's the joy of the game. So whatever you do, just play. Absolutely. Let's do the giveaways here. 2 $25 gift certificates to Troller Games. Yeah, I'm getting tongue tied. Yes, laugh it up there on because I haven't really hit any wrong buttons except for the one time.
Do you need me to take over, Jay? Do you need me to just take over your stream?
I didn't want to scare the new guests on if I hit that button. Tim ripping the tongue out video, which is what it was.
That's a button?
What's that?
That's a button you have?
You want to see it?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, hit it.
This is Tim reenacting what the mongrels of the putrid tongue do in my D&D game. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right.
He made that video with his daughter.
Yeah, his daughter's one. Yeah, here we go. You may not be able to hear the sound though through the.
Yeah.
Enough with this shit.
Oh wow. Oh my god.
Oh,
that is so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Tim.
Yeah, and he made his daughter had the piece of meat with ketchup on it to hand over to him.
Mysterious Tim.
And she's the one that make the horrible sounds of getting its tongue ripped up from the victim, so to speak. So So, and she held the camera and made the sound effects and handed over the
If you play in my game, there's a chance that the mongrels you're going to be going up against the mongrels of the future tongue. You never know.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, absolutely. All right, here we go. Exclamation point drawing. Let me do the giveaways real quick here. Anna and I will have a the only thing we're going to have we'll talk about this on Wednesday, but we're going to have a doubleheader, a Thursday, Saturday doubleheader game event coming up. But on Wednesday, we're going to go over a book we've never delved into, and that'll be great. The Great Player's Guide by Anne Brown. Anne Brown's book.
I think so.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that and deep dive on that on Wednesday night on Legends and
Anne's good people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. I've tried to get her on too. Look, I got Jenny in the back. There you go. Yeah.
Has she just not wanted to do it, or have you not been able to?
It's been tough. Like Josh Pop reached out to her and she kind of said, "Yeah, sure." And then it just, sometimes it doesn't go anywhere. I mean, it took me almost 3 years to get Duck Niles on. I had him on a couple months ago.
Yeah, hopefully we can get Anne on. That will be fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put some pressure on her?
Hey, if you have a connection,
whatever
Tony,
you can. Yeah,
you and Jeremy have a connection to her. That'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have her on. All right, let me do this real quick here and see who wins. Last call. I'm gonna close it out. I got all the codes through these, and I have all the links. So after the stream, I'll throw all of the links into your Discords for the downloads for the Trollord, and you'll have to give them your address and all that stuff to get them everything mailed. But no big.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, Chuck was lurking a lot tonight. He couldn't be on that much. And I'll figure out what happened to Luke as well. But it's all right.
Thanks, Grace and Chuck.
Yes, and Chuck. Coco Bunny with a winner. There's Courtney Winner, one of our regular players now. Yes. And the second winner is Brungel. You got it. All right.
Awesome.
Yes. So Courtney and Brungel are winners. I'll send those codes right out. So Britt, Becca, Jenny, Tony, thank you so very much. What a wonderful discussion. I'm honored to have that you would consider coming on and opening up here. Thank you so very much. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
And Anna,
great.
We'll see you on Wednesday. See you on Wednesday for our next wonderful stream. Now we'll kick off a 4-stream week coming up too. All right, we're gonna raid into Darling Creep Show. If you like Darling, she's gonna probably be doing I don't know if she's doing miniatures tonight or if she's doing a game. But we always raid into Darling as she's another community member, and she's also a special guest at Page as well there. Coming up this year, and it's been at Gary Con last couple of years too. So we'll see you all soon. Everyone, I'm gonna hit the wrong button here. I know I'm gonna hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong button. That time I didn't. So thank you, everyone. Let's hit the raid in. The wonders of streaming. Nice healthy 82 in. Awesome.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you all Wednesday. Thank you everyone for the support. Make sure it went.
Yay.
I think yeah, she's awesome.
Cool. Thanks, Jay. I'm off to bed. Thanks for having me.
Jenny,
It was so great to meet you, Jenny.
Likewise.
Yeah,